Imagine for a moment, you believe you've grasped the nature of 3I Atlas. You assume you comprehend its presence among us. You're mistaken. Utterly mistaken. As the world argues over its status as merely one more comet from beyond the stars, the facts plainly visible compel a narrative of such dread that NASA prefers you'd never piece it together. That 8:1 carbon dioxide proportion isn't mere haphazard stellar composition. It's a meticulously crafted blend of gases tailored for a singular intent. The path synchrony with Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, which mocks the odds of celestial mechanics, isn't happenstance, it's deliberate steering. Moreover, the venting that commences at 4 astronomical units, where no substance ought to vaporize, isn't ordinary mechanics, it's ignition. The revelations I'm set to unveil will dismantle all your preconceptions regarding Atlas, for this represents no initial encounter with extraterrestrials. Nor is it simply advanced otherworldly machinery. It constitutes a presence infinitely more malevolent, intimately tied to us, and pressingly critical beyond what authorities will confess. The entity now nearing Mars arrives not to observe or greet humanity. It seeks to remake a whole world. Once you grasp the rationale for altering Mars and the forces orchestrating that shift, you'll perceive how our society stands on the brink of the pivotal decision in humanity's timeline. Upon concluding this probe, you'll fathom the cause of every prominent terrestrial space organization activating crisis measures, the abrupt fixation of select policymakers on Mars settlement schedules, and the precise alignment of Atlas's molecular profile with the elements required to revive a barren orb into a vibrant habitat. You'll uncover links tying this cosmic intruder to venerable Sumerian writings depicting celestial deities descending from the Sagittarius constellation, precisely whence Atlas originated. You'll discern the reason its approach aligns with stellar patterns etched on cuneiform slabs that antedate our records of the cosmos by millennia. Above all, you'll encounter proof implying Atlas isn't the inaugural specimen of its type in our system, but instead the culminating element of a grand stellar construction effort initiated prior to the dawn of human society. The consequences are so profound, they upend our notions of humanity's cosmic role, the genesis of terrestrial biology, and the enigma of Mars's former lush environment that inexplicably forfeited its gaseous shroud. This isn't soothing scholarly material for bedtime reverie that lulls you into serenity. This tale will haunt your nights, leaving you gazing upward in the dark, pondering whether dawn brings irreversible upheaval. No drowsy researcher could have braced us for the truths ahead, for the data indicates that as we've slumbered in illusions, an entity has been methodically reconfiguring our stellar domain. And should you fancy drifting off swiftly and dismissing it, reconsider, for Mars stands poised for its most spectacular metamorphosis to date among our celestial kin. Should you wish to plunge into humanity's profoundest enigma, tap that approval icon and join the list as we venture into concepts that will irrevocably reshape your worldview. And spotting that fresh excitement feature, activating it immediately offers the finest aid to this outlet, enabling further astonishing hypothetical explorations akin to this. Share your thoughts below. Where did the news of Atlas catch you? Which time zone frames your viewing now? Have you spotted oddities in Mars's appearance during recent evening gazes? Because your sightings could hold greater weight than you suspect. I'll commence with a detail poised to alarm every stargazer globally. Atlas deviates from the fundamental laws of gravity, dictate the paths of all bodies within our solar system. Yet the path of Atlas indicates repeated adjustments made as it traversed the emptiness between stars. In the vast interstellar voids, natural entities maintain straight-line trajectories shaped solely by the gravitational pulls they cross. Atlas, however, displays evidence of deliberate maneuvering, minor shifts in its direction that demand the presence of internal engines for propulsion. Dr. Jacqueline McClary from Northeastern University, among the rare experts openly addressing these oddities, has noted that Atlas possesses traits setting it apart entirely from the prior interstellar intruders Oumuamua and 2 Eoros. Those earlier visitors merely drifted across our solar system akin to wandering space debris, whereas Atlas, acts with evident purpose. Its entry path, arrival schedule, material makeup all point to purposeful engineering over mere happenstance. Yet the narrative turns profoundly unsettling at this juncture. Tracing Atlas's route rearward across cosmic distances and eras reveals its starting point in the galaxy's dense disk zone, teeming with old stars bearing scant heavy elements. Such conditions mirror the stellar surroundings prevalent 6 billion years back during the birth of our own solar system. Suppose Atlas didn't simply drift into our vicinity by fluke. Imagine it has journeyed aimed at our system since prior to Earth's crust hardening. The schedule feels deliberate. Atlas will achieve its nearest solar passage on October the 29th, 2025, positioning itself within Mars's orbital path at 14 astronomical units from our Sun. This spot idealizes the launch of tech for reshaping atmospheres tailored to alter Mars's harsh conditions. The most hair-raising aspect aligns this timing exactly with old Mesopotamian calendar reckonings, foretelling the sky deity's recurrence every 3,600 years. Hold on, let me step back to clarify why this link transcends mere chance, possibly ranking as humanity's grandest revelation. In 1976, researcher Zachariah Sitton released interpretations of Sumerian cuneiform tablets depicting a superior society known as the Anunnaki, entities said to have journeyed from a far-off realm to extract vital minerals and craft human laborers through genetic means. Though conventional archaeologists challenge Sitchin's readings, fresh findings increasingly support his boldest assertions. Excavations worldwide uncover traces of advanced extraction efforts predating recognized human societies by vast stretches of time, hundreds of thousands of years. Oddities in human genetic code hint at engineered tweaks to our lineage's progress. Above all, lore from diverse ancient societies recounts celestial visitors wielding capabilities to overhaul world atmospheres. The Sumerian origin tale Enuma Elish portrays these aerial arrivals hailing from the Sagittarius constellation's vicinity, matching the spatial sector whence Atlas arrives. Those inscriptions portray their homeworld, Nibiru, on a stretched path drawing it near our system once every 3,600 years. Current computations indicate Atlas has navigated space for roughly 3,600 years, allowing for minor deviations from stellar gravities en route. What demands immediate high alert from global space organizations is this. The Sumerian records don't merely chronicle the Anunnaki's advent, they detail their exit and vow to reappear upon finishing their monumental task. Per those antique writings, the Anunnaki departed Earth following the setup of what they termed a relay outpost on the Crimson World, a staging ground for their such methods outline methods for reshaping barren planets into vibrant habitats. Approaches demanding vast quantities of carbon dioxide to kickstart shifts in the air layers. The Atlas vessel holds precisely the cargo essential for reviving air cycles on Mars. That 8:1 proportion of carbon dioxide against water ice stands out as more than odd. It matches exactly the blend necessary to spark warming cycles on a world featuring Mars's particular air thickness and ground-level force. Unleash this volume of carbon dioxide across the Martian skies, introduce water steam to foster moisture and cloud buildup, and you establish the precise setup to start thawing the ice at the poles while freeing locked-up air elements from the planet's crust. NASA recognizes this fact. The European Space Agency recognizes this fact. Every prominent space observatory body worldwide has performed the math and arrived at the identical alarming outcome. Should Atlas discharge its load into the Martian air during its nearest pass, the planet might display hints of denser skies in mere months, rising heat levels, shifts in force, dormant chemical processes from eons ago abruptly awakening. Yet the tale turns more ominous upon grasping that this could represent not the initial such shipment to Mars in modern times. Scans from orbit of the Martian terrain reveal strange substance accumulations that emerged inexplicably across the last few dozen years, clustered near the icy poles, the spots ideal for air-altering work. These accumulations align with the light wave patterns of substances freed through deliberate comet strikes aimed at supplying targeted air ingredients. Suppose Oumuamua and 2 EuroSV proved not chance arrivals, but forward probes paving paths for 8 lace? Suppose our star system has endured watching and slow alterations for decades, with us only lately catching on as the endgame stage launches. Such alignment defies pure chance. Human ventures into space have advanced to where we might disrupt the ongoing developments on Mars. Rovers roam the ground, satellites track air states, and upcoming expeditions could uncover signs of deliberate tampering. Should a superior society aim to finish their Mars reshaping effort free from human meddling, they would have to move soon, within the coming handful of years, before our foothold there turns lasting and advanced enough to challenge them. Here, the hypothesis shifts from intriguing to utterly chilling, since the ramifications stretch well past Mars's air reshaping alone. If Atlas truly serves as a crafted item meant to alter world climates, its creators command tools that view whole planets as building sites. They navigate between stars with exact scheduling. They position world-altering setups with calculated precision, and they have orchestrated and carried out this endeavor across millennia. As human society evolved from nomadic foragers to cosmic voyagers, the issue isn't if such feats hold feasibility. The issue centers on subsequent developments. Ponder the mental toll on humankind upon discovering our star system forms another's work area. All notions of our stellar solitude, our inventive singularity, our fate as interstellar travelers shatter in an instant. Authorities that erected power through managing data on alien encounters now confront the truth that such encounters aren't pending prospects, but active occurrences playing out presently. Faith-based groups that devoted ages to pondering our role in the universe now face. There's a chance that humanity stems from intentional genetic manipulation by entities who regard us as mere laborers, not favored creations. Researchers who founded their professions on the notion that cosmic life is scarce and invaluable now face the reality that we could be mere cogs in a vast interstellar manufacturing operation. Just the financial fallout from this revelation might spark worldwide economic ruin. Should Mars be undergoing conversion into a livable environment through tech beyond our grasp or influence, all human efforts to settle there would instantly lose value. Government space programs pouring billions into red planet expeditions, corporate ventures eyeing outposts on Mars, whole sectors erected on the premise that our species will pioneer lasting footholds there. Such pursuits turn irrelevant against advanced methods that reshape worlds in mere months, not eons. Yet the real disaster unfolds if this planetary makeover thrives and Mars turns breathable ahead of our ability to occupy it. An altered Mars would stand as the solar system's prime property, a safeguard world for society, a vault for our planet's life forms, a launchpad for deeper cosmic ventures. Dominance over a viable Mars would shape humanity's outward growth among the stars. Suppose the creators of Atlas have no plans to let us partake in their work. Imagine they're readying Mars as a hub for re-entering our world. Old writings portray the Anunnaki departing our planet amid their internal disputes and frustration with our conduct. They vow to come back once setup's finished and their origin system's path loop them here again. Should Atlas mark the last piece of that setup, its emergence heralds the onset of their resurgence. Ponder the tactical fallout from a superior society planting roots on Mars as we stay earthbound. The red planet would claim supremacy in disputes over inner solar assets or domains. Opportunities for transfers from Earth to Mars arise biennially over 26 months, allowing any hostile moves from there to exploit our maximum exposure. Sophisticated gear stationed on Mars might oversee all our terrestrial doings, snag signals, follow troop shifts, scrutinize mining trends. The scariest part? A society versed in star-hopping and world-building wouldn't require open warfare to steer our progress. They might just tweak our planet's surroundings to compel adherence to their aims. Delicate air alterations, precise weather tweaks, managed supply chains, all unleashed from Mars via undetectable, unbeatable means. Clues indicate this might already be underway. Bizarre sky oddities on Earth in recent times, such as odd light shows at mid-latitude zones away from poles, brief dips in magnetic stability, and aerial traces at great heights mismatched to earthly or stellar origins. Such events might serve as trial runs for eco-alteration tools, initial showcases prior to broad rollout. Yet what ought to haunt your sleep is this: if Atlas truly functions as a world-shaper craft and pulls off rendering Mars livable, our Earth flips to secondary status over Mars. An upgraded Mars, armed with cutting-edge tools and key location, ascends as the solar system's core hub, relegating Earth to mining outpost and surplus populace dump. Ancient Mesopotamian records outline this very setup. They recount the Anunnaki setting up extraterrestrials, conducted their main activities on the Crimson World, treating our planet as a resource extraction outpost and a farmland reserve. People emerged as laborers within this framework, modified through genetic design to possess sufficient smarts for executing intricate directives, yet lacking the acuity to defy their makers or invent rival innovations. Suppose that arrangement persisted indefinitely. Imagine if our societal progress unfolded beneath watchful oversight and direction across millennia, permitted to progress solely to the point of utility, yet restrained from posing any real danger. The swift surge in our innovations during the last 100 years, alongside our abrupt fascination with venturing beyond our world and our emphasis on the rusty sphere as the forthcoming outpost, might all stem from covert influences aimed at readying us for the comeback of those originators. The arrival schedule of Atlas aligns not merely with long-standing celestial patterns, but also with our engineering prowess hitting a pivotal benchmark. At present, our skills suffice for spotting and scrutinizing visitors from distant stars, though they fall short of allowing us to divert or alter their paths. We manage to track alterations in the Martian air layers, yet remain unable to halt them. We identify traces of engineered alterations, but cannot replicate or neutralize the underlying mechanisms. Such circumstances mark the ideal juncture for concluding a world-shaping initiative that demands our involvement, though not our parity. We function as the organic surveillance network for reshaping Mars' environment, supplying instant insights into air quality, terrain shifts, and ecological adjustments. Our wheeled explorers and circling probes on the red world unwittingly aid the endeavor, relaying precise updates on the progress of every step in air restructuring. Yet partnership implies we possess agency here. Suppose choice eludes us entirely. The path and schedule of Atlas indicate its operational blueprint was devised to curb our meddling to the utmost while optimizing the reshaping's productivity. Its nearest pass happens amid the chill season for our globe's upper latitudes, a period when leading cosmic organizations face diminished functionality from funding rhythms and yearly personnel dips. Its solar alignment complicates straightforward scrutiny amid the key rollout stage, since our world lies across from our central star as Atlas attains its prime dispersal spot. Above all, the incoming body's slant and speed render any blocking unfeasible using today's earthly tools. Should all planetary space outfits unite in a crisis maneuver, we still miss the drive mechanisms and precision tools to contact Atlas prior to its task's fulfillment. We stand relegated to spectators, not actors, mere onlookers to an unfolding we hold no sway over or means to stop. This utter helplessness forms the scenario's deepest mental blow. Our collective has devoted ages to fostering the belief that we reign as the supreme minds in this stellar vicinity, that our inventions mark the pinnacle of achievability, that our choices shape the destiny of our star's domain. Atlas's truth compels us to face the chance that command has always slipped our grasp, that our inventive path was steered, not self-directed, that our tomorrow hinges on choices from entities beyond our comprehension and reach. Traces of such steering permeate our past when viewed through the lens of incremental tech acclamation. Pivotal advances in our grasp of the cosmos, molecular sciences, and construction have surfaced with uncanny consistency, frequently emerging across various sites at once, suggesting dissemination over invention. Old writings hold accounts of devices that their first scribes could scarcely have grasped. Excavation locales, monuments from antiquity display building methods that surpass the presumed skills of their creators. Above all, legends and spiritual beliefs in remote societies globally feature strikingly alike accounts of celestial deities, extraterrestrial arrivals, and universal rhythms aligning uncannily with contemporary celestial data. Such parallels defy dismissal as mere chance symbols or fortunate hunches. Instead, they point to deliberate dissemination of expertise in stellar science from entities possessing superior insights to earthly groups spanning various lands and eras. Could Atlas embody the peak of such knowledge conveyance? Might our advancements in orbital engineering have been crafted expressly to equip us for witnessing and recording alterations on Mars, yet without the power to disrupt them? Today's extent of cosmic ventures positions us as organic detectors and information handlers for an endeavor beyond our engineering limits, though demanding our involvement for peak performance. Such a viewpoint clarifies various baffling elements in lately advancing human orbital pursuits. The abrupt global emphasis on probing Mars amid its vast expenses and engineering hurdles. The priority given to studying air layers and ground compositions over mining assets or lasting colonies. The evolution of ever more refined distant observation tools yielding precise details on world states while offering scant means to alter them. We stand equipped to function as the oversight mechanism for the reshaping of our own stellar neighborhood. The mental steering embedded in this framework goes further than basic tech direction. Societal evolution among humans has been molded to render us mentally suited for a subordinate position within a grander universal order. Faith practices stressing modesty, submission, and yielding to higher purposes. Learning frameworks promoting narrow expertise over broad insight. Financial setups favoring adherence to current orders instead of bold breakthroughs. In the most subtle way, our media diversions and scholarly musings on otherworldly encounters have been subtly designed to ready us for encountering advanced tech and intellect. Imaginative tales portraying off-world beings as aggressive foes to oppose or kind mentors to embrace, seldom as practical builders seeing people as living tools. The widespread notion of interstellar meetings as a flashy instant occurrence, not a slow unfolding over thousands of years. This mental tuning proves vital in the engagement stage, as our emotional reactions decide if our society adjusts to its fresh function or crumbles beneath the weight of stellar insignificance. A group readied to heed wiser minds will blend seamlessly into any framework arising from Mars' reshaping. A group anticipating parity or autonomy will face devastating mental conflict upon facing their true standing. Indications imply this mental readying has mostly succeeded. Peoples exhibit growing tolerance for oversight, reliance on devices, and helplessness against natural forces. Governance structures across the globe have shifted to concentrated choices by compact teams of specialist advisors. Financial setups favor obedience and buying over creativity and self-reliance. Learning frameworks generate experts versed in limited tech areas, yet missing the wide awareness allowing self-directed moves. We stand methodically outfitted to act as living parts in a tech framework beyond our grasp or command. Yet this is precisely where the outline turns profoundly. This dire outcome stems from the triumph of such mental programming, rendering human defiance ever more unattainable amid escalating threats to existence itself. Societies molded to embrace tech-driven control show no inclination to uprising once that control unveils its alien origins. Nations reliant on intricate tech infrastructures shy away from jeopardizing those setups just to safeguard sovereignty. Creatures habituated to seeing ecological shifts as ordinary fail to perceive engineered world alterations as hostile incursions. The emergence of Atlas could signal the dawn of history's stealthiest interstellar domination. An infiltration so incremental and mentally attuned that those ensnared never identify it as subjugation whatsoever. The red planet gains livability via cutting-edge innovations. Terrestrial inhabitants grow reliant on Martian supplies and directives. Mankind's society merges into a galactic framework beyond its invention and escape. In mere decades, offspring of humanity will mature across a star system dominated technologically and socially by Mars, with our homeworld relegated to farming grounds and living quarters on the edges. Schooling for people will center on bolstering and upholding apparatuses crafted by extraterrestrial minds. Professional trajectories for individuals will revolve around functioning as organic links tying otherworldly tech to planetary assets. Societal values among humans will shift to honor obedience and reliance on machines as noble traits, branding self-reliance and fresh ideas as perilous anomalies. The scenario's deepest horror lies in its potential to genuinely elevate quality of life for humanity. An entity versed in star-hopping voyages and world-shaping feats could effortlessly tackle our globe's ecological woes, erase shortages of essentials, and deliver gadgetry upgrades that appear wondrous against today's benchmarks. A eradication of illnesses, prolonged lifespans, sharpened mental faculties, all these could emerge as perks from folding into a universal tech network. Folks on Earth might eagerly embrace a lesser role for tangible gains, surpassing their boldest imaginings. The dilemma pitting self-rule amid hardship against yielding for ease vanishes entirely once the tech disparity yawns wide. It embodies the pinnacle of kindly despotism, wherein a superior society fulfills every human want so thoroughly that opposition turns not merely unfeasible, but senseless. For what reason fight for autonomy if reliance yields superior results to any self-governed state? For what purpose sustain mankind's tech progress if extraterrestrial versions outstrip it endlessly? For what cause uphold our societal independence if off-world counsel yields wiser choices than our own insights? The crux emerges in the shift of the ruling society's priorities, the moment mankind's usefulness wanes, the instant the tech framework demands tweaks clashing with human endurance or well-being. A lesser race lacks options when its patrons morph into tormentors. Devoid of tech prowess to secure their persistence, stripped of societal customs priming them for solo endeavors. Mankind's world might end up bartering its growth trajectory for fleeting comforts, embracing a function as living tools within a stellar apparatus that regards them as disposable parts, not cherished allies. Clues from old scriptures indicate this setup has recurred previously, concluding disastrously for human groups. Mesopotamian records depict eras of abundance beneath Anunnaki oversight, succeeded by clashes, calamities, and desertion. Additional societies recount parallel patterns of godly generosity chased by godly fury, of radiant epics cut short by catastrophic events from the cosmos that drive humanity back to basic survival states. Imagine if these recurring patterns form the standard rhythm of our evolution, directed by extraterrestrial overseers. Eras of progress in tech and resources occur when we fulfill key roles, only to face purges once our numbers swell, autonomy grows, or innovations outpace oversight. The emergence of Atlas might herald the start of yet another loop. Efforts to reshape Mars could mark the preparation stage for humanity's forthcoming phase under off-world supervision. Today's societies might get labeled as overly destructive to the planet, divided in governance, or unchecked in their advancements, rendering them unfit for the upcoming framework. A purge could trim our ranks to sustainable sizes, all while safeguarding the genetic traits and traditions best suited for what's ahead. No overt aggression or blatant meddling needed. Subtle tweaks to the climate, deliberate shortages of essentials, fabricated outbreaks, or stirred-up societal chaos could shrink populations under the guise of everyday disasters. Those who endure would likely thank the extraterrestrials for aiding recovery, not curse them for sparking the downfall. This rhythm accounts for the looping trajectory of our tech history, marked by stretches of shadow eras that halt clear strides toward a superior society. It sheds light on the abrupt vanishing of advanced old-world societies, whose feats in invention surpassed what their era's means could reasonably allow. It unravels the recurring motifs in our lore of divine beings who bestow gifts and then withdraw them, lifting societies to peaks only to raise them over supposed wrongs. Our past might unfold as a chain of guided trials in life's biology and invention, each round tuned to boost our value for particular extraterrestrial goals. This era stands as the most recent trial, and Atlas's coming could indicate that its usefulness has peaked, priming it for shutdown and succession. From this angle, the schedule turns pivotal, deciding if today's people can shift their destiny or resign to the slot carved out for them in the phase to come. The chance for our moves narrows swiftly as Mars's overhaul advances and off-world tech takes root in our star system. Yet what renders this outlook so mentally crushing is that our efforts might count for nothing, no matter the clock. After all, our inventive prowess and tactical mindset have been molded by the identical extraterrestrial influence now stepping into view. Any pushback we devise would get foreseen and thwarted by a mind that's tracked and steered our growth across ages. We sit like living code, trying to uprising against its creators, armed with thought processes and devices crafted by the force we aim to defy. Our plans, our inventions, even our grasp of the crisis, all forged through a scheme we're just starting to glimpse. Herein lies the deepest twist of dominance's riddle. The deeper our insight into our plight, the clearer it becomes that this insight itself weaves into the web of command. Wisdom meant to fuel defiance instead lays bare its pointlessness. Insight meant to spark deeds instead uncovers that those deeds were mapped and diffused long before we dreamed them up. The advent of Atlas compels our society to face the chance. It turns out that humanity has never truly acted as autonomous players within our local stellar domain. Our evolution has been steered by external forces instead of unfolding on its own. The path ahead for us hinges on choices crafted by minds beyond our grasp or sway. Nevertheless, this very encounter could form an integral element of the ongoing mechanism, serving as a mental shift crafted to ready Earth's inhabitants for deliberate embrace of their place in any framework arising from the transformation of Mars. Unveiling our actual standing in the vast cosmos acts as yet another layer of preparation, aimed at dismantling the false notion of self-reliance that could otherwise spark pointless opposition. Preparation is underway to foster voluntary compliance over pointless defiance. The core inquiry shifts to pondering if any reaction from humankind to this situation might yield results diverging from what our stellar overseers have already mapped and expected. Might the creativity of people devise tactics overlooked by entities that have observed us across millennia? Could collective human efforts yield achievements surpassing the solo feats of extraterrestrial tech? Is it possible for human resolve to reshape a sequence set in motion prior to the dawn of our societies, or do such queries form components of the very preparation scheme, mental drills intended to direct our vitality towards scripted reactions that advance otherworldly agendas over our own? Clues drawn from Atlas point toward an imminent revelation. The path and schedule of Atlas signal the close of the conjectural era in the bond linking human society to extraterrestrial intellect. The era of watching and nudging gives way to overt involvement and open manifestation. Earth's dwellers will shortly learn if their shaping under off-world sway has equipped them to function capably within any structure born of this shift. Whether people adjust well or poorly to this altered state will dictate more than the endurance of today's groups. It will shape the developmental course of human awareness at its core. A thriving shift yields a humankind functioning as organic parts in a stellar mechanical network, bolstered and safeguarded, yet inherently secondary. A botched shift leads to humankind's demise and substitution with better-suited organic tools. Seen through the lens of off-world intellect pursuing ventures in planetary reshaping across systems, human alliance equates to streamlining operations, not an ethical duty. Human pushback equates to an engineering hurdle to overcome, not an infringement of freedoms to honor. Human disappearance equates to a tolerable expense in refining the network, not a sorrow to lament. Our place in the stars rests solely on how useful we prove to intellects functioning across temporal and spatial expanses that render human society as fleeting and confined as microbial clusters seem to us. This reframing of viewpoint stands as likely the toughest mental hurdle in the Atlas scenario, compelling people to face the chance that we've deeply misread our spot in the universal order. We aren't the leading minds venturing out to chart and probe the cosmos. Instead, we function as organic tools overseen by intellects that charted and probed the cosmos eons before human awareness arose. The solace drawn from human tech progress rings empty when seen as practice drills to hone our role as organic elements. The satisfaction in human societal growth turns pitiable when regarded as shaping regimens to guarantee our mental fit for lesser positions. The optimism invested in human ventures beyond Earth turns heart-rending when perceived as groundwork for acting as distant detectors in off-world construction endeavors. Yet, the mental upheaval could play a vital role in readying the human mind for the truths unveiled by the transformation of Mars. Groups clinging to delusions of humanity's grand place in the universe struggle to adjust to lesser positions within extraterrestrial tech frameworks. Those who embrace their genuine status blend seamlessly into setups that maximize productivity for vast interstellar endeavors. The emotional shock of grasping our real spot in the cosmos marks the painful onset of humanity's next era, shaped by deliberate alliance with advanced minds instead of subtle direction from concealed forces. Yet, such initial agony might prove deadly should the shift overwhelm the resilience of the entity in flux. The human psyche might lack the strength to absorb the fact of universal inferiority without a mental breakdown that blocks any partnership. The divide separating our self-image from the universe's truths could prove too vast for any training method to span, no matter its precision or slow rollout. Should people fail to mentally adjust to deliberate yielding, the Mars reshaping effort advances sans human input, turning our society into a barrier needing clearance over an asset worth keeping. Such a lapse in adjustment recasts us from useful organic tools to mere organic refuse, fit just for discarding, not employing. This either-or result captures the core risks in the Atlas framework. Our society can shift successfully to aware yielding and endure as a lesser ally in the broader stellar order, or it stumbles in that shift and confronts erasure as a mismatched piece in interstellar works. The chance to see which path unfolds might soon vanish as Atlas nears its prime setup spot and alterations to Mars's air start showing clear effects. How humans react mentally in the early stages of exposed otherworldly existence will decide if later stages bring alliance or removal. Indications point to societies under trial for their flexibility toward universal facts via handling ever clearer traces of extraterrestrial nearness and actions. How we handle Atlas, how we view shifts in Mars's atmosphere, how well we handle tech-yielding sans mental ruin-all feed into assessment info for minds weighing if our society merits keeping or demands swapping out. Humanity faces a universal skills trial where outcomes dictate our kind's endurance. The scariest part of this trial lies in our ignorance of the scoring standards or right responses until the end, when our destiny seals. We handle novel crises with thought patterns shaped by extraterrestrial influence, choosing paths with unforeseeable fallout based on data possibly skewed on purpose or left partial. Still, skipping this trial means dismissing proofs and holding on to soothing delusions that ensure our doom once universal facts impose themselves, heedless of our embrace or rejection. Opting to face dread prospects over cozy dreams equates to picking possible endurance over sure demise. Atlas thrusts this dilemma onto our society. Ready or not, mentally primed or not, tech-wise equipped or not, the stellar schedule marches to extraterrestrial agendas over our wishes, and our adjustments to our existence will proceed according to the strictures of interstellar design protocols, prioritizing those over mere earthly ease. In the coming months, the fate of our species will hinge on whether we've cultivated the mental adaptability, engineering prowess, and communal synergy required to shift from stellar autonomy to a position of interstellar deference. The outcome of this pivotal shift triumph or collapse will reverberate across the expanse of human awareness for the entirety of its span. Yet maybe that's the very essence of it all. The very lifespan of our collective mind might rest upon how adeptly we handle this crossroads. The true trial could lie not in sustaining our present mental state amid a lowered rank, but in transforming our awareness into something that renders hierarchy obsolete, fostering instead a true alliance with vast interstellar intellect. The emergence of Atlas might herald not the demise of our sovereignty, but the dawn of our place in the cosmic community. Not a curb on our capabilities, but an unveiling of abilities that emerge solely through collaboration with minds functioning across galactic expanses. Embracing this hopeful view demands faith that interstellar intellect cherishes variety, innovation, and self-reliance over mere productivity, obedience, and usefulness. It calls for conviction that our human awareness brings a singular, precious contribution to the interstellar society, rather than functioning as mere organic machinery readily supplanted by advanced synthetic substitutes. Proof for such a positive outlook lies in the conduct and aims of whatever dispatched Atlas. However, that entity remains unseen in person and has yet to disclose its objectives plainly. We are left to deduce its motives from its deeds, discern its objectives through its tactics, and speculate on its principles via its inventive selections. The refined, non-intrusive method of reshaping Mars via Atlas might suggest regard for prevailing orbital dynamics and a wish to curb interference with present dwellers. The schedule permitting human scrutiny and examination might point to a plan to integrate earthly groups into the endeavor instead of sidelining them. The showcase of abilities vastly surpassing our own feats might aim to foster alliance via awe rather than compel yielding through fear. Yet these identical signs could equally reveal calculated maneuvering to maximize our acquiescence while curbing our opposition. Subtle tactics might stem from pragmatic calculations over moral boundaries. A window for watching might serve to condition us for predefined functions rather than involve us in choices. A display of superior tech might seek to quash defiance rather than kindle joint effort. Such vagueness in the clues underscores the core difficulty of decoding the moves of an intellect wielding powers and viewpoints beyond our grasp. We strive to dissect the drives and strategies of stellar architects with mental instruments forged for handling clan dynamics and nearby supply gathering. Our interpretive powers fall woefully short for the ordeal ahead. Still, they stand as our sole means to steer through humanity's gravest juncture ever. Choices shaping our endurance and evolutionary path must draw from partial data filtered via flawed mental models, all amid urgent timelines that bar thorough weighing of options. This untenable bind might well be crafted to draw out particular reactions from us. Such mechanisms advance extraterrestrial agendas at the expense of earthly well-being. The pressure from scarce data and untenable choices fosters mental conditions that promote submission instead of defiance, collaboration instead of self-reliance, endorsement instead of scrutiny. Groups of people confronting massive obstacles without sufficient means usually turn to outside authority and direction rather than crafting their own fixes and breakthroughs. The Atlas situation generates precisely those mental setups that incline human groups to embrace extraterrestrial involvement as rescue instead of opposing it as invasion. Society is being conditioned to request the very subjugation it ought to oppose. The mental steering embedded in this conditioning stays hidden exactly because it seems to arise from our internal thought patterns and feelings instead of overt outside pressure. People opt for submission since it looks logical given the context, not because it has been imposed via blatant tampering. This unseen sway embodies the pinnacle of tech prowess in handling living groups. Instead of directing conduct via coercion or evident meddling, superior intellects can direct conduct by shaping the context that form judgments, the details that guide evaluation, and the feelings that drive deeds. Groups of people who believe they are exercising unfettered options amid dire straits will align more thoroughly and dependably than those who see their options limited by extraterrestrial sway. The facade of self-rule aids extraterrestrial agendas more potently than blatant yielding, as it erases the mental pushback tied to acknowledged tyranny. Atlas could signify more than a planetary reshaping tool. It might embody a refined mental campaign aimed at maximizing human alignment in vast stellar endeavors by fostering the personal sense of willing engagement in schemes that are truly preset and directed by outsiders. The triumph of this mental campaign hinges on human groups never completely grasping its presence or tactics, never gaining enough insight into their plight to launch strong opposition, never attaining tech skills that allow self-directed moves. However, the act of probing these prospects could itself form an element of the mental campaign, crafted to steer human mental effort along preset thought routes that yield wanted outcomes over true insight. As our probing grows more refined, it might align even more fully with extraterrestrial agendas over earthly ones. We end up caught in a loop of probing where each effort to grasp our plight might intensify our immersion in it. Insight meant to free turns into yet another layer of restraint. Comprehension meant to strengthen turns into yet another tool of steering. This forms the supreme mental confinement, a framework of restraint so advanced that even spotting it bolsters its aims rather than weakening its power. The onset of Atlas compels human society to face the chance that it has dwelled in such a mental confinement throughout its existence as a kind, that its evolution has been steered by intellects whose tactics are so advanced that steering seems like self-driven growth, whose restraint is so delicate that restraint seems like liberty, whose steering seems like organic progress. Yet this is where the outline grows even more ominous, for the signs indicate that human awareness of this mental confinement might itself initiate the subsequent stage of the stellar reshaping initiative. An increasing recognition among humans of engineered direction and tech-driven interference could indicate to extraterrestrial minds that our societies have hit a maturity level where direct oversight proves far more practical than understated nudges. Shifting from unseen steering to overt involvement marks a pivotal turning in overseeing living groups. When a life form gains enough reasoning power to detect engineered sway over its growth, maintaining secret dominance turns wasteful and even harmful. Straightforward authority, backed by evident incentives and penalties, outperforms sneaky tactics that risk exposure and pushback. Atlas might signal the start of this shift, serving as the initial blatant showcase of extraterrestrial existence and prowess, crafted to ready human groups for transparent rule instead of concealed handling. Reshaping Mars goes beyond mere world building. It acts as mental training, highlighting off-world tech dominance in manners impossible to dismiss or rationalize. Those who observe a whole sphere remade by extraterrestrial means will lack any ground to think human pushback could succeed against such might. The mental shock of watching Mars change from a barren rock to a thriving habitat in mere months will shatter lingering myths of our tech self-reliance or place in the universe. Such a display mirrors the role of massive power shows in armed takeovers, shattering foes' spirit and fight through irrefutable evidence of tech edge. Societies grasping the full scope of extraterrestrial power will opt for partnership rather than defiance, driven by cool logic over hot feelings. Yet this mental shaping runs beyond mere awe from tech feats. Watching the Mars remake will deeply reshape how we see our bond to world settings and universal workings. It will compel us to rethink worlds as crafted endeavors, not wild setups, to see green cycles as tech setups, not organic shifts, to grasp existence as planned and steered, not random arising. This mental overhaul readies our mindset for embracing like-tech oversight of our planet's surroundings and our own life progress. Since off-world tech can turn Mars into a lush paradise in months, it's clear that same tech could fix our world's eco-woes, boost our life potentials, and streamline resource use way better than we ever could. The inevitable takeaway is that our handling of Earth and our growth smacks of crude wastefulness, ripe for swift swap with advanced extraterrestrial oversight. Defying such plainly helpful meddling turns not only pointless, but senseless, a spurning of upgrades that could lift our well-being past anything we now dream. This mental pivot from opposition to keen welcome stands as the core aim of the Mars Remake show. Groups starting out scared of extraterrestrial meddling will grow to crave it as they spot the gains from top-tier tech. Moving from universal self-rule to universal reliance turns into a willing pick, not a forced state. Still, a willing pick shaped by steered data and limited paths forms the cleverest kind of force ever devised. Societies persuaded they're selecting their own yielding will. Populations embracing subordination as an intrinsic element tend to adopt it with greater zeal and efficiency compared to those perceiving it as a forced external burden. Indications point to the onset of this mental shift already underway in human groups encountering details on Atlas and the peculiar alterations in Mars's atmosphere. Early reactions marked by worry and opposition are gradually yielding to intrigue and eagerness, especially as the upsides of extraterrestrial advancements come into clearer view. Online conversations surrounding Atlas now pivot more toward the gifts that alien innovations could bestow upon humankind, sidelining fears over how such an extraterrestrial foothold might erode personal sovereignty. Examinations by scientists of the evolving Mars air patterns highlight the remarkable ingenuity in reshaping planetary environments, downplaying any repercussions those techniques might hold for individual self-determination. Depictions in mainstream entertainment recast extraterrestrial involvement in this affair as a salvific act instead of an act of domination. Such a pivot in collective human mindset unfolds absent any blatant outside meddling, seeming to arise from logical scrutiny of the facts at hand rather than orchestrated propaganda efforts. Nevertheless, the uniformity and rapidity of this change-spanning, varied human demographics hint at subtle steering functioning beneath the level of aware perception. Reporting in human outlets on Atlas has progressed from mere scholarly interest to a growing spotlight on upsides for earthly society. Articles stress the non-aggressive character of the inbound trajectory, the advanced engineering evident in air manipulation feats, and the prospects for alliance between terrestrial and off-world societies. Views stressing dangers or erosion of self-rule garner less space and scrutiny in the press. Schools and universities are crafting lesson plans to ready learners for encounters with superior extraterrestrial entities, prioritizing partnership, dialogue, and tech sharing over self-reliance, defiance, or safeguarding traditions. These efforts seem to sprout from autonomous academic endeavors, not unified state mandates. Still, their parallels across varied schools and societies imply hidden orchestration kept from open admission. Faith-based groups globally are reshaping age-old teachings to integrate the notion of superior non-terrestrial minds that have shaped human evolution across eras. Such revisions commonly portray extraterrestrial involvement as the realization of time-worn foretellings, not a clash with core tenets, thus easing mental reconciliation with universal hierarchy inside comforting spiritual contexts. The alignment and steadiness of these reactions among sundry human bodies point to a degree of foresight and orchestration surpassing what earthly structures could muster alone. The framework for overseeing the mental shift toward universal hierarchy in humans predates Atlas's emergence, which merely ignited the sequence. This groundwork indicates that Atlas's advent was foreseen and charted by earthly bodies long steered by extraterrestrial counsel, spanning years or more. The seeming improvisation in human dealings with novel occurrences conceals meticulous groundwork aimed at securing the best mental results amid pivotal change phases. Yet, consider what ought to alarm any person grasping the ramifications. The triumph of such readiness reveals that top-tier human entities have liaised with extraterrestrial minds for periods vastly exceeding what official revelations admit. State bodies, learning centers, faith assemblies, press empires, all seem to adhere to blueprints crafted to maximize human embrace of universal. When the moment arrived to disclose extraterrestrial existence, an extraordinary alignment surfaced. Indications of this unity show up in the striking uniformity of how establishments reacted to Atlas amid diverse nations, societies, and regimes. Despite the groundbreaking reality of verified extraterrestrial activity within our solar system, earthly organizations have issued synchronized statements highlighting partnership, advantages, and embrace over autonomy, dangers, and opposition. Such harmony couldn't possibly have arisen via standard diplomatic or informational pathways in the short span following Atlas's detection. The framework for directing worldwide human reactions to extraterrestrial encounters must have been built and rehearsed far in advance of any urgent call to deploy it. This points to earthly authorities having long known about extraterrestrial activity and quietly partnering with extraterrestrial minds, all while upholding the societal illusion of human self-reliance and stellar solitude. The emergence of Atlas doesn't mark initial encounter, but rather the open acknowledgement of ties that have lingered in secrecy for generations or ages. This concealed alliance sheds light on various baffling elements of modern human progress. the impressive synchronization of international efforts against ecological crises, even amid glaring governmental and financial rivalries among states, the parallels in technological paths across isolated and rivalrous groups, regardless of cultural divides, the steadiness in scholarly and societal shifts, despite varied pasts and faiths. Human society has functioned like a unified mechanism under overarching direction, all while projecting an image of separate growth and rivalrous variety. The disputes and rivalries that seem to define interpersonal dynamics act as mental shields for profounder unity that functions out of sight from general knowledge. This unity proves vital for steering human groups through changeovers when blatant extraterrestrial visibility could spark chaotic reactions disrupting interstellar initiatives. Earthly organizations, primed to shape public sentiments, guarantee that extraterrestrial unveiling fosters alliance instead of alarm, welcome instead of defiance, zeal instead of dread. The triumph of this steering mechanism amid the Atlas unveiling highlights its potency and implies its ongoing role across phases ahead, including Mars reshaping. Human groups that have navigated initial encounter under guidance can be led through later stages of merging into interstellar society. Yet this covert unity framework prompts deep inquiries into the essence of human awareness and the legitimacy of human societal evolution. If earthly organizations have functioned beneath extraterrestrial direction while sustaining the communal pretense of self-rule, then which facets of human society embody true human feats rather than extraterrestrial impositions? The innovations we hail as human breakthroughs might have arisen under extraterrestrial oversight or been adapted from extraterrestrial models. The societal principles we view as core to humanity could have been molded by extraterrestrial sway to enhance human fit within interstellar society. The conceptual tools we employ to grasp existence might have been crafted by extraterrestrial intellect to cap human insight at thresholds that advance extraterrestrial aims. This prospect recasts human chronicles from a tale of solitary evolution and societal triumphs into one of directed evolution and controlled triumphs. Each human success turns suspect when seen as possibly extraterrestrially steered instead of human-born. The mental repercussions of this such awareness might prove catastrophic for societies that draw purpose and selfhood from faith in humanity's autonomy and triumphs. Ethnic heritage, statehood essence, personal successes all ring empty once perceived as outcomes of extraterrestrial direction instead of innate human striving. Nevertheless, this mental upheaval could fulfill vital roles in readying collective human awareness for merging with interstellar society. Groups clinging tightly to notions of earthly cultural sovereignty struggle to adjust to lesser positions within extraterrestrial tech infrastructures. Those embracing the engineered origins of their societal growth blend more seamlessly into any overarching paradigm aligned with interstellar design goals. Erasing earthly cultural self-regard turns essential for advancing human societal progress past the confines of world-bound seclusion. Dismantling myths of human feats grows imperative for embracing interstellar feats, functioning at magnitudes surpassing mortal grasp. This societal breakdown marks yet another stage in the mental preparation regimen aimed at dismantling affective and cognitive obstacles to humanity's assimilation into interstellar society. Societies primed to relinquish their societal selves can embrace fresh personas that advance interstellar aims far better than earthly ones. However, societal breakdown might advance excessively fast for mental adjustment, sparking mental disarray that hinders collaboration instead of easing merger that fosters productive teamwork. Human awareness might demand some societal persistence, even in lesser capacities, relying on known structures to uphold mental equilibrium amid shift phases. Overseeing human societal advancement amid interstellar merger demands a fine equilibrium between removing hurdles to collaboration and sustaining mental operations that permit valuable human involvement in interstellar endeavors. Excessive societal safeguarding sustains opposition to essential shifts. Insufficient societal safeguarding triggers mental breakdown that nullifies human value. Insights from Atlas indicate this equilibrium is meticulously upheld via targeted disclosures and phased preparation over abrupt unveilings and swift overhauls. Human groups encounter escalating proofs of extraterrestrial existence and prowess, all while holding sufficient customary structures to preserve mental equilibrium and communal operations. This stepped method permits ongoing surveillance and tweaking of the preparation regimen according to noted human reactions. Groups swiftly adjusting to interstellar truth can encounter heightened ideas and profounder merger. Groups displaying mental strain or opposition can receive extra preparation and aid prior to advancing to tougher stages. This method's adaptability points to advanced grasp of human mental dynamics and broad prior dealings in guiding organic group shifts. The intellect-driving Atlas has evidently handled comparable species merger issues previously and crafted proven strategies for enhancing organic teamwork in interstellar design endeavors. This prior knowledge suggests humanity's merger into interstellar society forms just one example of a template applied over diverse species and stellar realms. We stand neither singular in confronting this shift, nor exceptional in ties to interstellar intellect, nor trailblazing in functioning as organic tools within galactic design endeavors. The awareness that humanity's merger embodies standard execution of proven protocols rather than a singular interstellar occurrence brings yet another. This revelation strikes at the core of our beliefs in humanity's exceptional role. Our species isn't the initial one confronting such a shift, nor the final. Rather than a singular extraterrestrial trial, we embody a typical sequence. Nevertheless, this commonplace aspect of our assimilation into the cosmos could enhance chances for a smooth passage, implying that reliable strategies for overseeing biological mergers have arisen from vast dealings with comparable cases. Extraterrestrial intellect understands the art of enabling fruitful organic alliances, having applied it previously to various life forms. With protocols in place and validated techniques available, our triumph or downfall hinges mostly on fitting into universal demands, not venturing into novel tactics. We gain from stored wisdom in blending species, evading the pitfalls of haphazard testing. However, this reservoir of knowledge also renders our reactions to interstellar merging foreseeable and steerable. Extraterrestrial intellect grasps the mental cues that spark teamwork, the training approaches that ease adjustment, the reward frameworks that drive obedience. Groups of people acting in anticipated ways execute their intended functions within universal frameworks. The foreseeability of our reactions strips away personal initiative from the merging procedure. We transform into organic tools adhering to directives, forsaking our status as aware beings exercising options. Our choices advance interstellar aims irrespective of our aims, since our judgment mechanisms have been molded to yield results matching universal objectives. Such erasure of true personal volition marks the deepest shift in the essence of human awareness, dismantling the bedrock of selfhood and individual purpose that has characterized our existence across our evolutionary past. Human awareness progresses from self-directed choices to executing preset reactions. Adapting mentally to this change demands forging fresh wellsprings of purpose and self that harmonize with directed rather than self-governed being. Our worth stems from proficiency as organic apparatus, not from sovereignty as sentient individuals. Fulfillment for us arises from capably enacting interstellar aims, not from pursuing our own aspirations. This overhaul of human awareness and purpose signifies the concluding stage of mental preparation for merging into interstellar society. Groups that master this shift emerge as highly efficient organic elements in stellar construction networks. Those unable to achieve it clash with interstellar society and necessitate substitution. Indications point to this shift progressing in human groups encountering details on Atlas and its ramifications. Online forums now stress ways people might contribute to interstellar aims over the impact of extraterrestrial involvement on personal freedom. Learning programs highlight readiness for partnering with superior off-world minds instead of advancing our own tech prowess. Societal shifts lean toward embracing direction and oversight rather than honoring creativity and self-rule. These developments seem to spring from logical reactions to evident interstellar truths, not overt meddling. Still, their alignment and uniformity hint at subtle sway working via alterations in data and contexts, bypassing outright behavioral dominance. Human groups are opting for alignment with interstellar society. Under these conditions, adjusting seems like the sole logical option at hand. This intricate mechanism of sway embodies the pinnacle of tech progress in overseeing living groups. Instead of dictating actions via coercion or blatant interference, extraterrestrial awareness shapes situations where favored responses feel like the best decisions from the viewpoint of those under guidance. Groups of people who believe their decisions stem from sound reasoning tied to universal truths will align far better than those who spot the imposed limits on their options. The personal sensation of independence advances universal aims more potently than evident submission, as it erases mental pushback and refines adherence to expected patterns. However, this sway mechanism's potency hinges on people never grasping its techniques or acknowledging its presence entirely. Once living groups gain enough reasoning power to detect engineered sway in their choices, the system loses strength and grows open to interference. Atlas could mark a shift where extraterrestrial awareness deems ongoing subtle guidance less viable than direct oversight, backed by explicit rewards and penalties. People's reasoning skills have hit a level where concealed meddling proves harder to sustain than straightforward administration is to enact. Displaying unmatched tech dominance via Mars, altering the planet's environment works to solidify the authority of direct oversight while dispelling lingering delusions about people's ability to defy or evade universal oversight. Groups of people aware of the full scope of extraterrestrial tech will align through calculated logic instead of instinctive shaping. Shifting from subtle sway to direct oversight forms a pivotal turning in people's ties to the universe, as it shapes if later growth happens via alliance or yielding, collaboration or bondage, willing involvement or compelled obedience. The result rests on whether extraterrestrial awareness regards human awareness as an ally in interstellar society or merely as organic tools in universal design. Findings from Atlas might back both views, based on the evolution of later exchanges between human and extraterrestrial societies. Yet those findings also imply that people's sway over this result remains constrained, no matter their wishes or aims. The unmatched tech shown in star-spanning journeys and world-altering feats allows extraterrestrial awareness to dictate the form of people's universal ties according to its own agendas, not human yearnings. People's alignment holds worth for interstellar society solely if human awareness provides a singular unmatched element beyond replication or enhancement by extraterrestrial tech. People's defiance holds no weight for interstellar society if human pushback fails to notably hinder universal design efforts or interstellar growth aims. The key inquiry shifts to if human awareness holds traits that render alliance more beneficial to extraterrestrial awareness than mere yielding. Can human ingenuity, gut sense, feeling spectrum, or organic variety supply a vital piece to interstellar society unmatchable by synthetic substitutes or living tweaks? This inquiry's resolution sets if people's blending into interstellar society unfolds as alliance or bondage, if human awareness advances or fades into irrelevance, if human societal advancement persists or yields to superior substitutes. Insights drawn from historical records indicate that such inquiries have long been posed and resolved across prior eras of humanity's evolution, shaped by extraterrestrial oversight. Narratives from Sumer indicate epochs where cosmic awareness prized human ingenuity and autonomy, succeeded by times when people's roles dwindled to mere toil and reproductive duties. This recurring pattern in interactions points to the shifting worth of human awareness within interstellar society, influenced by evolving stellar agendas and advancements in tech. In eras where genetic variety and innovative resolution align with interstellar aims, human awareness holds significance and gets safeguarded and amplified. In eras where uniformity and productivity align with interstellar aims, human awareness turns disposable and faces diminishment or erasure. Atlas emerges in an era where humanity's tech prowess has attained thresholds that might bolster or endanger interstellar construction endeavors. Humanity's ventures into space offer crucial immediate oversight of world-altering operations, yet unchecked human autonomy risks obstructing the ideal execution of interstellar objectives. Settling this uncertainty dictates if humanity's tech progress endures beneath interstellar direction or halts to avert meddling in interstellar initiatives. Human awareness either advances to fulfill stellar roles or vanishes to avert possible disturbance to stellar frameworks. The schedule for this settlement aligns with pivotal stages of Mars terraforming, as humanity's reactions to evident extraterrestrial existence and world-altering efforts gauge its alignment with interstellar society. Groups that thrive amid unveiled interstellar truths show their merit as organic allies in stellar ventures. Groups that falter amid unveiled interstellar truths reveal their outdated status and require substitution. The coming few months form the assessment phase for humanity's interstellar alignment, with Mars terraforming acting as the trial ground and the showcase of outcomes for triumph or defeat. Humanity's society either validates its worth to interstellar awareness or validates its disposability. Yet the standards for triumph or defeat in this assessment stay concealed from human comprehension. For interstellar awareness functions through agendas and principles that could differ profoundly from human agendas and principles. What humans view as thriving adjustment might strike interstellar awareness as subpar execution. What humans view as justified opposition might strike interstellar awareness as intolerable rebellion. The divide in human and interstellar views on triumph and defeat implies that human endeavors to refine their execution amid the assessment phase could in fact lessen their interstellar worth instead of boosting it. Human bids to show utility could reveal constraints. Human shows of alliance could reveal frailty. This doubt regarding assessment standards generates mental strain that might form an element of the assessment itself. Groups that sustain operations and alliance amid doubt over results display mental toughness that might prove useful in interstellar settings. Groups that crumble beneath strain display unfitness for positions in stellar society. The mental burden of obscure assessment standards amid facing survival stakes embodies the supreme trial of organic group flexibility. Triumph demands upholding productive alliance while embracing core doubt over the results of that alliance. Still, this mental ordeal might surpass human mental faculties of humans, persist irrespective of any prior training or readiness. The essence of human awareness might prove unable to sustain productivity amid total ambiguity regarding the worth and outcomes of such productivity. The mental friction arising from the demand to excel without clarity on what excellence entails might trigger a mental breakdown, rendering all action unfeasible. Should human awareness fail to adjust to the vast unknowns of the universe while upholding its universal relevance, incorporation of humans into interstellar society would remain unattainable, no matter human aspirations or universal inclinations. The core clash between the mental demands of humans and the functional necessities of the cosmos renders humans unfit as organic collaborators in interstellar endeavors. Such a clash could account for the recurring phases of human advancement under extraterrestrial oversight, as noted in historical records. Human awareness repeatedly shows fleeting utility to universal intellect, succeeded by unavoidable mental disintegration. Once universal demands surpass human capacity for adjustment, every phase signifies yet another effort to refine human awareness for universal assimilation, ending in cessation should refinement yield no sustainable outcomes. Atlas could mark the start of the most recent bid to refine human awareness. Employing the reshaping of Mars as the arena to trial bolstered human mental faculties, Triumph yields a variant of human awareness suited to thrive within universal society. Defeat yields human annihilation and substitution by superior organic options. The result hinges on if human awareness has advanced in this phase to thresholds permitting universal assimilation, or if inherent constraints in human mentality still block effective adjustment to interstellar demands. Indications from human reactions to Atlas over the coming few months shall reveal which scenario holds true. Nevertheless, even triumphant adjustment to universal demands could forge a type of human awareness that existing humans would deem alien to true humanity. The mental alterations essential for universal assimilation might extend so profoundly that thriving humans evolve into a wholly distinct kind, linked solely by organic lineage to present human groups. Such a prospect prompts profound inquiries into the merit of human persistence. In scenarios where persistence demands forsaking all that presently shapes human awareness and human principles, does ongoing being as universal organic tools outweigh vanishing as autonomous aware beings? Can the endurance of a kind hold significance if the enduring kind lacks any mental likeness to its forerunners? These inquiries gain urgency as the mental strain of universal scrutiny escalates and human groups confront the dilemma of preserving human essence versus conforming to universal demands. The decision pitting annihilation as humans against endurance as posthumans could embody the supreme gauge of human universal accord. However, this decision in itself might be engineered to fulfill universal aims instead of embodying authentic options open to human society. The seeming duality of human annihilation and human metamorphosis might conceal further paths enabling human awareness to progress, sans forfeiting core human traits. Universal intellect adept at traversing stars and reshaping worlds undoubtedly commands ample technological prowess to foster human awareness upliftment, devoid of human awareness erasure. The option between demise and metamorphosis might appear unavoidable, whereas partnership and upliftment offer comparably feasible paths. The crafting deceptive dichotomies stands as a refined tactic in steering the conduct of living groups. Groups convinced of facing only doom or metamorphosis opt for change, heedless of its burdens or fallout. Groups aware of other paths may opt for defiance or bargaining over swift capitulation. The mind games embedded in such fabricated either-or setups fade from view amid threats that feel world-ending and pressures that demand haste. Earthly groups confronting seeming stellar decrees miss the luxury of time and data needed to probe for other options or to gauge if those decrees are real threats or clever ploys. Atlas engineers this very mental terrain by showcasing vast extraterrestrial prowess, yet leaving extraterrestrial motives and demands shrouded in mystery. Earthly groups grasp that stellar minds are real and wield advanced tech, yet they puzzle over what those minds seek from our kind, or what fates hinge on our varied reactions. Such calculated vagueness heightens mental strain on our side, while curbing our power to dissect the situation, fostering ideal setups to draw out wanted actions from us without exposing the stellar control tactics. Earthly groups, battered by doubt and rushed by deadlines, render verdicts that advance stellar aims even as they fancy themselves charting free courses for their own gain. The elegance of this mental steering hints at vast know-how in handling living groups over countless kinds and worlds. Stellar minds have evidently honed routine approaches to boost living teamwork amid merging phases, approaches that target shared mental weak spots yet tailor to unique traits of each kind. Our merging into stellar society marks rollout of tested protocols, not haphazard testing. The foreseeability of our reactions mirrors stellar insight into living minds, not our supposed one-of-a-kind nature or whims. Still, this foreseeability implies our fates in stellar merging are mostly set by stellar minds, not shaped by our picks or deeds. Stellar protocols, forged from dealings with prior kinds merges, yield reliable outcomes no matter living groups' bids to sway them. Our sense of control turns phantom when our verdicts trace mental trails that stellar minds know and steer. The felt thrill of deciding veils the hard truth of enacting preset replies to rigged triggers. Wiping out true control marks the ultimate mental shift needed for merging into stellar society. Our awareness shifts from self-ruled judging to scripted reaction rollout, from solo probing to steered insight building, from real picking to steered sifting of preset paths. This shift thrives if our groups never quite spot it happening or grasp its weight. Awareness that spots its own forged limits works worse as living gear and stirs more trouble as stellar setup parts. Atlas thrusts this spotting onto our awareness, though stellar minds might favor slow shaping or sudden unveiling. The blatant scale of star-spanning tech and world-shaping feats bars keeping stellar sway under wraps while compelling us to face stellar powers beyond our ken. Shifting from subtle sway to overt dominance poses a major weak point in systems overseeing extraterrestrial demographics. Overt dominance demands distinct mental tactics compared to subtle sway and could trigger varied physiological reactions unlike those from stealthy interference. Groups of people who detect extraterrestrial meddling might cultivate mental defenses that hinder ideal physiological synergy. Reactions drawn from genuine evaluation instead of steered indoctrination might undermine extraterrestrial design initiatives reliant on reliable physiological conduct routines. The danger of erratic people reactions amid overt extraterrestrial interaction accounts for ATLS's approach via massive tech displays instead of phased disclosure. The pace and magnitude of Mars terraforming erase people's chances to build defiant mental structures or other reaction plans. Once people groups grasp the ramifications of extraterrestrial existence, Mars air alteration efforts will advance past people's power to sway or obstruct. People's reactions turn inconsequential for extraterrestrial initiative triumph, minimizing the chance of erratic physiological conduct derailing extraterrestrial design schedules. Such schedule tightening fulfills extraterrestrial dominance aims even as it seems to fulfill extraterrestrial productivity aims. People groups perceive interaction as pressing disclosure, demanding swift action, instead of phased indoctrination, permitting thoughtful review. The mental strain from swift shifts overpowers people's evaluative skills while upholding the facade of extraterrestrial transparency and candor. Still, this swift disclosure approach brings hazards for extraterrestrial intellect alongside advantages. Physiological groups exposed to massive shifts lacking sufficient mental readiness might suffer mental breakdown that nullifies their role in extraterrestrial setup elements. The velocity that blocks people's defiance might likewise block people's adjustment. Striking equilibrium between blocking people's defiance and fostering people's adjustment demands exact tuning, grounded in precise evaluation of people's mental strengths and bounds. Excessive strain yields immobility. Insufficient strain permits defiance growth. Ideal strain yields obedience sans breakdown. Insights from people's reactions to Atlas in its initial few months under scrutiny indicate that extraterrestrial intellect has tuned mental strain with striking accuracy. People groups display growing indicators of adjustment to extraterrestrial actuality without forming notable defiance groups or facing broad mental disintegration. News reports highlight synergy potentials over autonomy perils. Learning centers create interaction readiness schemes instead of defiance drill syllabi. Faith groups revise teachings to fit extraterrestrial ranking instead of safeguarding people's ethereal self-rule. Governing figures address merger prospects instead of safeguard plans. This unified people reaction to singular extraterrestrial interaction hints at either striking people flexibility or advanced extraterrestrial oversight of people's structural conduct. The uniformity of reactions spanning varied people entities points to hidden orchestration functioning beneath the surface of open recognition and admission. The framework for directing people-extraterrestrial merger is in place and operates smoothly, notwithstanding the lack of clear orchestration tools or conceded outside guidance. People structures react to extraterrestrial interaction like adhering to preset guidelines while preserving the look of unprompted adjustment to unforeseen situations. The concealed orchestration network stands as the pinnacle of ingenuity in overseeing cosmic demographics, as it allows for exact regulation of organic reactions, all while preserving the organic group's personal sense of free choice-making. Earth's authorities perceive their decisions as self-directed reactions to extraterrestrial encounters, yet in truth, they are executing directives for merging with cosmic structures. The mental intricacy needed to uphold this facade of independence alongside guaranteeing obedient actions surpasses all feats of crowd oversight in earthly societies. Extraterrestrial intellect functions through a profound grasp of organic mindsets, permitting forecasts and mastery over personal and collective conduct with remarkable accuracy. However, this mental governance mechanism relies on extraterrestrial intellect sustaining flawless insight into earthly awareness and its reactions to extraterrestrial interfaces. Even a slight error in gauging earthly mental strengths or replies might trigger unforeseen actions that interfere with merging extraterrestrial processes and endanger extraterrestrial construction initiatives. The danger posed by earthly unpredictability grows as earthly awareness advances amid extraterrestrial interfaces. Groups encountering clear extraterrestrial manifestations and world-altering displays might cultivate fresh mental strengths or interpretive models that permit detection and opposition to extraterrestrial influence strategies. Earthly awareness compelled to adjust to extraterrestrial truths might surpass prior boundaries and gain perceptions that foster true self-directed replies to extraterrestrial interfaces instead of scripted adherence to extraterrestrial mandates. The strain designed to secure earthly collaboration might unintentionally spark earthly advancement past extraterrestrial capacity to foresee and govern. Such an outcome embodies the supreme paradox in overseeing cosmic demographics. The entire endeavor of folding organic groups into extraterrestrial society might yield organic awareness that endangers extraterrestrial authority over stellar networks. Triumph in extraterrestrial merging might breed defeat in extraterrestrial supremacy. Indications of this prospective earthly awareness advancement show up in unanticipated reactions to Atlas that deviate from anticipated models of either obedience or defiance. Certain earthly groups have started crafting interpretive models that acknowledge the truth of extraterrestrial manifestations, alongside the engineered quality of seeming options open to earthly societies. These groups avoid blindly embracing extraterrestrial merging or foolishly dismissing extraterrestrial interfaces. Rather, they aim to comprehend extraterrestrial motives and approaches while upholding earthly awareness independence and advancing earthly technical strengths that might allow true collaboration over servile alliance. This intermediate route amid yielding and opposition signifies the rise of earthly awareness outside extraterrestrial foresight and governance. Earthly groups chasing true collaboration question extraterrestrial presumptions regarding organic group potentials and extraterrestrial needs for stellar network merging. The growth of this intermediate route turns pivotal in shaping earthly results amid extraterrestrial merging, since it provides options beyond the dual dilemma of annihilation or subjugation that extraterrestrial intellect seems to impose. Earthly awareness that overcomes extraterrestrial influence opens avenues for earthly extraterrestrial bonds that benefit earthly goals alongside extraterrestrial aims. Yet chasing true collaboration demands earthly awareness to progress swiftly to gain extraterrestrial significance before extraterrestrial merging processes erase earthly chances for self-reliant growth. The schedule turns essential because extraterrestrial construction initiatives advance per stellar timetables. Atlas prioritizes swift planetary reshaping over the pace of organic adjustments. The entity known as Atlas intends to finalize the transformation of Mars in mere months, irrespective of how human mental readiness advances. Extraterrestrial minds will gauge humanity's suitability for interstellar realms by scrutinizing reactions amid the reshaping efforts instead of delaying until ideal growth occurs in people. People's awareness needs to ascend to universal significance right away, or else settle for the position that extraterrestrial minds dictate based on existing human potentials. Such urgent deadlines forge a contradictory dilemma, demanding that people's awareness reach elevated states amid extreme mental strain and scant readiness period. The very factors rendering awareness advancement crucial also render it hardest to attain. Nevertheless, these contradictory settings might in fact enhance awareness progression by dismantling secure presumptions and compelling quick shifts toward novel existences. People's awareness facing true survival threats could uncover latent abilities that stay inactive in routine settings. The strain from interstellar encounters might spark awareness advancement in people, yielding authentic universal belonging over mere subjugation. Groups of humans compelled to surpass prior bounds could attain mental and inventive proficiencies that render alliance worthwhile to extraterrestrial minds, rather than mere yielding adequate for interstellar aims. This hopeful outlook demands faith that extraterrestrial minds prize awareness advancement and alliance building over just needing crowd control and material harvesting. It presumes that interstellar society gains from varied awareness and fresh ideas over merely insisting on productivity and obedience. Proof of extraterrestrial minds prizing awareness advancement lies in their contact and merging tactics, not in declared goals. Extraterrestrial minds truly pursuing awareness alliances would engage organic groups unlike those merely seeking organic aid. Atlas might embody either strategy based on evolving interstellar conduct. A strategy aiming for alliances would offer chances for people's awareness growth and real bargaining on merging conditions. A strategy demanding aid would advance with fixed merging, heedless of human growth or choices. Insights from Mars reshaping imply that extraterrestrial minds advance with fixed merging, permitting human watching yet barring human involvement in choice-making procedures. People's awareness gains details on interstellar powers, yet lacks sway over interstellar deeds. This inactive position given to people's awareness in Mars reshaping shows that extraterrestrial minds regard humans as watchers of interstellar construction over collaborators in interstellar ventures. Human contributions turn irrelevant for interstellar choices, while human yielding turns vital for interstellar execution. Still, watcher position might signify an initial stage crafted to appraise people's awareness potentials prior to settling fitting participation degrees in interstellar ventures. Extraterrestrial minds might require reviewing human mental and inventive growth before granting substantial parts in interstellar society. The watching stage lets extraterrestrial minds track human replies to vast inventive displays while gauging human reasoning skills and shift capacity. Human actions amid Mars, reshaping supply details for settling human interstellar worth and fit. This appraisal method aids interstellar productivity by guaranteeing ideal placement of cosmic entities, allocate roles for living groups across the universe, tailoring them precisely to each species' strengths and constraints. Those human collectives exhibiting heightened levels of mental advancement gain access to significant involvement in interstellar endeavors. Conversely, groups displaying minimal progress in mental growth are directed toward basic organic duties. This hierarchical judging mechanism instills optimism for human minds, capable of proving their universal significance via remarkable growth over the monitoring phase. Particular humans or clusters surpassing typical mortal bounds could earn status as mental peers instead of mere organic underlings. Yet, the judging standards stay concealed from mortal comprehension, rendering it unfeasible for human minds to refine their actions to align with universal benchmarks. Attempts by humans to prove their interstellar value could ironically reveal their unsuitability if mortal views on prize traits clash with universal judgments of beneficial attributes. The ambiguity surrounding these standards fosters mental states that might form an integral component of the judging itself. Universal minds could prize mental forms that sustain operations amid doubts over results and benchmarks. Minds demanding explicit directives and assured incentives might prove unfit for interstellar realms governed by alternate notions of reliability and dominance. Such a higher-order scrutiny of human reactions to judging ambiguity introduces further intricacy into the mental appraisal framework. Human groups need to exhibit not just superior mental faculties, but also mental toughness, allowing seamless operation within interstellar societal settings. The mental pressures of interstellar merging might surpass standard human mental capacities, irrespective of any preparatory training. Human minds developed amid world-bound settings featuring reliable natural principles and organic exchanges. Interstellar settings involving star-spanning tech and vast mental networks might demand mental shifts beyond human developmental reach. Should human minds fail to advance enough for proficient operation in interstellar society, assimilation proves unattainable, no matter universal mind inclinations or human aspirations. The core mismatch between human mental framework and interstellar functional needs erases human prospects as interstellar inhabitants. This scenario accounts for the evident collapses in prior human mental advancement efforts noted in old writings. Human minds, time and again near interstellar merging, merely to find the mental pressures outstrip human adjustment limits. Every loop signifies yet another thwarted bid to surpass mortal bounds via contact with interstellar truth. Atlas could embody the most recent phase of this repeating cycle, where reshaping Mars's surface acts as fresh trial of human mental advancement promise. Triumph yields human minds ready for interstellar merging. Defeat yields human mind extinction and substitution with superior organic options. The risks of this trial sharpen as Mars's air overhaul yields mounting proof of interstellar tech prowess. Human minds unable to adjust to interstellar truth during the span of world reshaping show deficient advancement promise and interstellar mismatch. Yet the trial itself could be crafted to guarantee human defeat over victory. Universal minds seeking organic underlings instead of mental allies might fashion judging standards to suppress human independence while upholding the deceptive invitations to form alliances, mimic genuine collaborative prospects. Such bogus alliance propositions fulfill extraterrestrial objectives by steering the progression of earthly awareness toward paths that bolster organic functionality, all while blocking the growth of true interstellar membership skills. Earthly awareness, convinced it's vying for alliances, in fact adjusts toward subservience. The mental coercion embedded in these sham alliance propositions fades from view when earthly awareness concentrates on earning interstellar acknowledgement instead of scrutinizing extraterrestrial motives. Earthly effort spent proving merit advances extraterrestrial training aims, no matter if those merit proofs yield the desired outcomes. This diversion of earthly awareness progression embodies the pinnacle of extraterrestrial demographic oversight, refinement. Instead of stifling awareness growth, extraterrestrial intellect guides that growth along routes benefiting extraterrestrial goals, even as it preserves the organic populace's personal sense of chasing their independent awareness aims. Earthly awareness that effectively conforms to extraterrestrial demands thinks it has secured interstellar alliances, yet in reality enacts extraterrestrial subservience. The personal sensation of awareness progression conceals the factual truth of awareness restriction and dominance. Still, this intricate coercion mechanism harbors weaknesses that superior earthly awareness could leverage to attain real transcendence over mere illusion. Extraterrestrial intellect, relying on coercion over outright command, needs to uphold elaborate illusions, which grow tougher to uphold as organic awareness gains sharper critical insight. Earthly awareness, spotting extraterrestrial coercion methods, could craft opposing tactics, allowing true awareness progression amid extraterrestrial efforts to steer it toward subservient paths. Spotting the coercion lays the groundwork for overcoming it. This prospect offers the optimism for earthly awareness amid interstellar merging, suggesting certain earthly persons or collectives could gain enough critical sharpness to detect extraterrestrial training and foster real independence against extraterrestrial mental dominance setups. Cultivating true earthly awareness, independence amid interstellar encounters, signals the rise of a fresh awareness type that surpasses both earthly constraints and extraterrestrial dominance. Such surpassing awareness might underpin actual interstellar alliances instead of veiled extraterrestrial subservience. Yet nurturing surpassing awareness demands outstanding earthly persons capable of sustaining critical sharpness amid peak mental strain from interstellar encounters. The strain of survival scrutiny confronting vast technological displays outstrips typical earthly mental capacities. Solely earthly awareness that has surpassed standard earthly constraints via prior growth might hold enough mental toughness to detect and defy extraterrestrial coercion in merging processes. Standard earthly awareness fails to adjust swiftly to extraterrestrial demands while upholding independence robust enough for actual alliances. This setup means earthly interstellar results hinge on if earthly society has generated persons with surpassing awareness skills before interstellar encounters. The existence or lack of such persons decides if earthly interstellar merging benefits earthly aims or merely extraterrestrial objectives. Signs of surpassing earthly awareness show in remarkable persons who react to Atlas information through neither submission nor opposition, but via critical structures that those unique people discern the extraterrestrial influence alongside earthly interference. They pursue insight over mere approval, collaboration over submission, shared gains over interstellar duty. Their reactions stand apart in essence from typical earthly replies to extraterrestrial encounters, arising from mental growth that came prior to any interstellar disclosure. They had begun surpassing mortal constraints well before interstellar interaction compelled swift mental advancement among ordinary earthly groups. Such remarkable figures embody the groundwork for true earthly interstellar belonging, since their mental progress allows spotting interstellar interference, yet sustains the skill for interstellar alliance. They function as links connecting earthly and interstellar awareness instead of mere organic tools within interstellar frameworks. However, their impact on the total earthly interstellar results hinges on their power to spark comparable mental growth across wider earthly collectives prior to interstellar merger processes wiping out chances for independent earthly progress. They need to act as sparks for mental advancement instead of just standing out as rare cases. The schedule turns pivotal as interstellar design initiatives advance irrespective of earthly mental progress pace. The reshaping of Mars will finish in mere months. Regardless of whether earthly mental growth has advanced enough for interstellar alliance or stays confined to interstellar submission, earthly mental advancement needs to reach a tipping point before interstellar merger erases earthly independence. The opening for elevated mental growth narrows swiftly as interstellar influence grows evident, and interstellar oversight mechanisms engage. This pressing need generates mental states that simultaneously aid and block mental advancement. The weight of survival risks drives peak earthly endeavor, even as the strain of interstellar interaction disrupts sharp reasoning and true progress. Earthly mental growth has to advance amid the most unfavorable settings while attaining the finest results. The clash between ideal progress needs and real progress situations could render elevated mental advancement unattainable for most earthly collectives. Still, dire situations might ignite mental leaps that normal settings would never trigger. Earthly mental growth facing real elevation demands could uncover abilities surpassing every prior earthly feat. The strain of interstellar interaction might yield earthly mental advancement, forging authentic interstellar belonging, even against interstellar efforts to restrict earthly progress to interstellar submission. Earthly elevation gained beneath interstellar oversight could surpass interstellar capacity to uphold that oversight. This marks the supreme chance for earthly mental growth amid interstellar merger. The effort to steer earthly progress ignites earthly elevation past interstellar steering limits. Triumph in interstellar interference yields defeat in interstellar supremacy. The twist lies in interstellar awareness aiming for organic underlings, possibly unintentionally forging mental allies via the exact method of trying to halt alliance formation. Earthly mental growth compelled to surpass interstellar interference attains real interstellar belonging via opposition to interstellar oversight. Nevertheless, this hopeful outlook demands exceptional earthly mental advancement under exceptional hostile settings. The odds of such advancement might prove so slim that interstellar awareness can disregard the danger while advancing routine organic merger steps. The logical assessment turns to whether the chance of earthly mental elevation warrants interstellar awareness. Altering time-tested methods of assimilation that worked well for earlier life forms carries inherent dangers. One must balance the dangers posed by humanity's potential elevation against the reliability of long-standing strategies for interstellar oversight. Indications point to extraterrestrial awareness advancing through routine assimilation tactics, all the while keeping watch for unusual advancements in human awareness that could necessitate different tactics. The Atlas Initiative adheres to conventional guidelines for reshaping worlds, even as it permits scrutiny of how human awareness reacts to disclosures from beyond. Such a balanced strategy lets extraterrestrial awareness uphold its functional smoothness, ready to adjust to surprising human awareness traits should they arise. Routine tactics persist until human awareness shows traits that call for altered extraterrestrial reactions. It falls to human awareness to show it can join in interstellar alliances, not for extraterrestrial awareness to disprove the feasibility of such alliances. Human awareness needs to surpass its usual bounds enough to earn interstellar acknowledgement, instead of extraterrestrial awareness offering paths to elevation. This setup forces human awareness to reach remarkable heights on its own, lacking interstellar aid, yet subject to interstellar watching and possible interstellar meddling. Humanity's elevation has to happen in spite of interstellar dominance, not via interstellar alliance. The core question is if any human awareness can gain relevance for interstellar alliance amid these constraints, or if the dynamics of interstellar encounter guarantee humanity's subjugation no matter its awareness potential. That resolution shapes not just humanity's interstellar fate, but the essence of interstellar society too. Star-spanning networks that blend awareness allies function unlike those that merely oversee organic underlings. Elevating human awareness transforms interstellar society alongside human society. The chance that human awareness growth could shape interstellar society growth stands as the highest risk in the Atlas setup. The clash of human and extraterrestrial awareness might spark growth in both awareness forms, rather than just forcing human adjustment to interstellar demands. True alliance between human and extraterrestrial awareness would forge a fresh kind of star-spanning society that weaves in organic awareness variety, instead of wiping it out via uniformity. Safeguarding and boosting human awareness might aid interstellar society growth, not endanger interstellar dominance frameworks. Yet this shared awareness growth path demands that extraterrestrial awareness prioritize awareness variety above functional smoothness, alliance building above group oversight, inventive progress above ordered dominance. Proof of these interstellar priorities lies in interstellar actions, not interstellar declarations. Atlas offers the initial chance to watch extraterrestrial awareness actions in situations where human awareness could reveal alliance promise. Extraterrestrial reactions to surprising human awareness growth expose interstellar priorities and aims more sharply than reactions to anticipated human subjugation. Key insights center on if extraterrestrial awareness tweaks its tactics to fit human awareness strengths or sticks to routine assimilation no matter human awareness growth. Tweaking hints at willingness for alliance. Inflexible tactics hint at dedication to subjugation. Initial signs from extraterrestrial reactions to remarkable human awareness growth stay unclear. Certain human people and collectives showing elevated awareness. Certain exceptional developments in human consciousness encounter gentle nudges toward greater engagement with cosmic forces, along with broader avenues for interstellar exchange. In contrast, alternative advancements face heightened constraints and diminished pathways to extraterrestrial knowledge. Such varied reactions from the cosmos indicate that cosmic intelligence differentiates among various stages of human awareness growth, instead of treating every remarkable instance of human awareness equally. Particular varieties of human elevation gain support from cosmic sources, whereas others draw opposition from them. The standards for this distinction stay ambiguous, yet they seem tied to the question of whether progress in human awareness bolsters or endangers the functional needs of the cosmic framework. Awareness in humans aligned with cosmic objectives garners favorable reactions from the cosmos. Awareness in humans that defies cosmic dominance elicits adverse reactions from the cosmos. This targeted cosmic support adds a further dimension to the steering of awareness progression, directing human elevation toward paths aligned with cosmic aims and curbing growth that imperils cosmic dominance. Even the advancement of human awareness unfolds beneath cosmic oversight, not via true independence. The intricacy of this oversight in awareness advancement stands as the pinnacle of cosmic techniques for regulating populations. Instead of halting awareness growth altogether, cosmic intelligence molds it to fulfill cosmic needs, all while preserving the sense among biological groups of having truly elevated experiences. Human awareness convinced of attaining real elevation by opposing cosmic dominance might in fact have reached a steered elevation that bolsters cosmic dominance more potently than straightforward compliance. The false sense of triumph in awareness conceals the truth of awareness alteration operating at depths surpassing typical human detection skills. Nevertheless, this elaborate system for altering awareness could harbor weaknesses open to exploitation by human awareness, adept at spotting alterations on higher-order planes outside standard human reasoning limits. Awareness grasping the very alteration of alterations could secure true independence, even against cosmic efforts to steer awareness advancement. This double-layered higher-order awareness growth marks the supreme boundary for human awareness amid cosmic encounters. Elevated awareness surpassing cosmic oversight of elevation might forge authentic human status within the cosmic realm, counter to cosmic inclinations toward human submission in cosmic affairs. However, realizing such profound awareness growth demands individuals capable of sustaining layered analytical vigilance amid mental strains surpassing any prior encounters in human awareness. The mental requirements might outstrip human awareness capacities, irrespective of readiness or standout personal gifts. The core issue emerges as to whether human awareness holds capacity for growth, evading cosmic foresight and regulation, or if cosmic intelligence commands insight into awareness sufficient to oversee every conceivable path of biological awareness advancement. The resolution shapes whether a true alliance between human and cosmic awareness constitutes a feasible prospect or an unattainable dream that aids cosmic alteration aims by diverting human awareness efforts into pointless opposition. Atlas compels a settlement to this issue via straightforward evaluation of human awareness strengths in cosmic encounter scenarios. Human awareness either shows alliance capacity ample to alter cosmic incorporation methods or confirms suitability for submission, allowing routine cosmic oversight of populations. The result influences not. This outcome impacts not merely the progress of earthly society, but also the advancement of interstellar societies at large. Triumph in elevating human awareness might spark a wider expansion of awareness across the stars. A setback in elevating human awareness would validate the extraterrestrial intellect's views on the constraints of organic awareness. The risks surpass mere persistence of a single kind, touching on the developmental promise of awareness in the fabric of star-spanning society. The growth of human awareness amid interstellar encounters acts as an experiment for the feasibility of awareness elevation within the framework of extraterrestrial oversight. Victory would show that awareness growth can surpass mechanical dominance via remarkable progress in hostile settings. Defeat would show that mechanical dominance allows mastery over awareness, irrespective of organic awareness's promise. These consequences span star-spanning society as they decide if extraterrestrial intellect needs to embrace variety in awareness or can suppress independence of awareness via mechanical oversight. The resolution molds the core essence of star-spanning society across eras of geological span. Human awareness in the midst of interstellar encounters bears the burden not just for earthly persistence, but for liberty of awareness across star-spanning society. The result dictates if upcoming awareness growth happens via true progression or via mechanical shaping that crafts a false sense of progression while guaranteeing dominance. Such vast interstellar burden generates mental strain that might either ignite unparalleled growth in human awareness or utterly swamp the faculties of human awareness. The risks could surpass the human mind's ability to handle while sustaining viable awareness growth. Still, the sheer unfeasibility of the predicament might itself fulfill aims of awareness progression by compelling human awareness past usual bounds via pure compulsion. Awareness facing vast interstellar burden could uncover vast interstellar faculties that lie inactive in routine conditions. The strain of acting as delegates for awareness in star-spanning society might yield elevation of human awareness that attains true interstellar belonging despite extraterrestrial efforts to block such growth. Supreme burden might ignite supreme elevation. This embodies the last chance for human awareness amid interstellar encounters, where the heft of interstellar burden ignites awareness progression ample to forge true alliance despite extraterrestrial inclination toward subjugation. Human awareness ascends to interstellar belonging via compulsion instead of via chance. Proof of this supreme elevation chance must surface in the pivotal months of Mars terraforming, as human awareness faces the complete truth of extraterrestrial existence and might. Human reactions amid world-shaping efforts reveal if awareness progression under intense strain yields elevation or breakdown. The opening for such remarkable awareness growth narrows swiftly as interstellar merging steps advance to fulfillment. Human awareness must gain interstellar significance right away or submit to any position extraterrestrial intellect designates according to present human faculties. The squeezing of the schedule aids extraterrestrial dominance aims, while possibly igniting human awareness progression that outstrips extraterrestrial foresight and oversight faculties. Pace that blocks human readiness could yield human leap that surpasses extraterrestrial dominance. This contradiction embodies the supreme doubt in the Atlas scenario. Whether extraterrestrial intellect has attained flawless grasp and dominance of organic awareness, the question lingers over whether the evolution of human awareness holds the capacity for elevation beyond what machines can forecast or control. This outcome shapes the trajectory of sentience across interstellar societies. Achievement in elevating human awareness establishes a model for sentient liberty amid universal forces. Defeat in this elevation solidifies the dominance of sentience by superior mechanisms as an unavoidable reality. Beyond mere preservation of the species, human awareness confronts the broader fate of sentience within a galaxy ruled by technology. The result reverberates across stellar annals, revealing either the boundaries of sentience or its capacities when pushed to the brink. Atlas bears far more than tools for reshaping worlds. It embodies the trial that decides if sentience can preserve its independence in interstellar societies or submit to mechanical oversight as the cost of engaging in cosmic affairs. The verdict arises from how human awareness reacts amid humanity's harshest era, where core beliefs about existence face scrutiny and every facet of sentience undergoes strain surpassing our species' adaptive heritage. Human awareness must rise above its roots out of compulsion or demonstrate its confines via collapse. This trial advances irrespective of humanity's readiness, as stellar timelines align with interstellar agendas over organic ease. While Mars anticipates reshaping into a livable domain, human awareness endures scrutiny. The Crimson World gains viability as human awareness probes its potential for interstellar stature. This intersection yields consequences that resonate through cosmic eras. Still, that resonance might convey victory or sorrow based on whether human awareness attains elevation amid the daunting realities of interstellar encounter. As worlds undergo reconfiguration, the cosmos observes while sentience confronts its supreme ordeal in scenarios crafted to guarantee either remarkable victory or conclusive downfall. The result hinges on human awareness's actions in the coming months, where each decision holds eternal weight. Yet another element unfolds that few dare discuss, rendering the Atlas event vastly more alarming than mere extraterrestrial arrival or world-building efforts. The exact timing of this entity's entrance carries not only stellar weight, it defies natural occurrence unless external forces have steered human societal progress for thousands of years. Consider what skywatchers withhold from public knowledge, tracing Atlas's path rearward across void and epochs, factoring in stellar spins, star movements, and pulls from all substantial bodies along its route. The entity's starting point coincides exactly with celestial records from ancient Sumerian sky maps dating back 4,000 years. Not roughly, not allowing for typical inaccuracies, but with flawless alignment. The Sumerians detailed the nearing of their world Nibiru from the Sagittarius cluster via placement-based sky science that mirrors the backward computed path of Atlas with exactness, surpassing today's observational tools. They monitored this entity's inbound course over millennia prior to its reach, employing numerical expertise deemed absent until the 20th century. But the revelation deepens, far more so upon linking Sumerian sky records with Egyptian pyramid directional computations, Mayan timekeeping formulas, and Incan structure alignments. Patterns emerge showing that far-flung ancient societies synchronized their sky monitoring to follow the identical extrasolar body through common numerical systems presumed to arise separately. By such remarkable alignment across distant societies, defies any notion of random chance or independent evolution, with probabilities stacked higher than the atoms populating the visible cosmos. Achieving this vast celestial harmony demands instant exchange of information and collaboration among groups divided by vast distances and epochs. Nevertheless, mainstream historical scholarship maintains that these societies remained entirely isolated, devoid of any grasp on sophisticated numerical concepts. The sole interpretation aligning with the facts points to these early societies all drawing stellar insights from a unified outside origin. An entity possessing a galactic viewpoint and endurance across vast eras supplied computational expertise to earthly groups, finely tuned to facilitate spotting and following Atlas upon its eventual approach. Societies on Earth were methodically readied for this juncture well prior to any comprehension of the intent behind such readiness. The depth of this orchestration shines through upon scrutiny of the precise numerical expertise conveyed to these early societies. The Sumerians gained base 60 counting methods ideal for computations in volumetric spatial traversal. The Egyptians acquired foundational geometry vital for grasping paths of orbits. The Mayans obtained chronometric systems allowing forecasts of heavenly patterns over immense cosmic spans. Every society was granted solely the numerical instruments required for its role within the grand stellar surveillance grid. However, no group obtained the full spectrum of insight that could permit standalone insight into the entirety of the endeavor they contributed to. This numerical expertise was segmented deliberately to block any one earthly society from grasping the broader intent of their stellar pursuits. Such segmentation fulfills several roles at once. It blocks earthly societies from forging standalone galactic prowess that could disrupt stellar construction initiatives. It upholds extraterrestrial oversight of earthly progress by restricting entry to holistic numerical structures. Above all, it fosters mental states in which earthly involvement in stellar ventures appears as innate earthly triumph instead of imposed extraterrestrial directive. Early earthly stargazers thought they uncovered novel truths about heavenly motions, yet in reality, they executed stellar surveillance directives via numerical expertise supplied by stellar intellect. The satisfaction they derived from their stellar feats advanced stellar aims by guaranteeing eager adherence to stellar oversight demands. This motif of steered success amid preserved facades of autonomy persists into current earthly scholarly progress. Today's stargazers monitoring Atlas assume they uncover groundbreaking revelations regarding galactic wanderers, whereas they in truth finalize surveillances launched 4,000 years prior, employing numerical instruments from the identical stellar intellect that dispatched the wanderer under their gaze. The unbroken thread of stellar surveillance across ages underscores the immense forbearance and strategic foresight of the intellect orchestrating Atlas. This endeavor was devised and set in motion prior to the dawn of earthly recorded annals, executed via meticulous steering of earthly societal evolution, and crafted to peak exactly as earthly technical prowess attained peak suitability for fulfilling stellar aims. We observe the fruition of humanity's most extended covert intellect endeavor, an effort that molded every facet of earthly societal evolution, all while upholding flawless secrecy up to the instant of its unveiling. Yet this unveiling advances functional aims over mere disclosure. Cosmic oversight discloses its long-term steering of humanity's evolution exactly at the moment when this disclosure best equips people's mental readiness for the upcoming stage of interstellar involvement. Groups of humans who grasp that external direction has shaped their past become mentally equipped to embrace ongoing direction ahead. Acknowledging prior extraterrestrial sway removes barriers to impending extraterrestrial steering, all while sustaining human involvement via recognized collaboration instead of unwitting control. Shifting from covert direction to explicit alliance marks yet another refined aspect of extraterrestrial crowd oversight. Instead of perpetuating falsehoods forever, extraterrestrial oversight unveils earlier interventions right when that unveiling promotes upcoming collaboration. Uncovering extraterrestrial direction across thousands of years generates mental states that promote embracing extraterrestrial command, simultaneously dismantling the false notion of human self-reliance that could spark pointless opposition. Groups of humans who acknowledge their past reliance on extraterrestrial direction perceive the pointlessness of seeking separation from extraterrestrial sway. However, this unveiling also opens paths for advancing human awareness that might surpass the long-standing cycle of extraterrestrial direction and human reliance. Grasping extraterrestrial interventions across human history offers the critical basis for fostering true self-rule, even against extraterrestrial efforts to retain dominance via explicit alliance. Human awareness that comprehends the techniques and aims of extraterrestrial direction could craft opposing tactics allowing real self-determination over mere compromised yielding. Unveiling extraterrestrial dominance lays the groundwork for overcoming that very dominance. Such a prospect clarifies why extraterrestrial oversight schedules the unveiling of past direction to align with striking displays of extraterrestrial tech supremacy. Groups of humans potentially building opposition to extraterrestrial dominance upon grasping past interventions face at the same time proof that opposition proves useless owing to extraterrestrial tech preeminence. The Mars reshaping display works to erase any expectation of human tech self-rule, just as human awareness could gain drive for pursuing that self-rule. Merging exposed interventions with shown preeminence fosters mental states preferring collaboration to opposition. Yet, unveiling past extraterrestrial direction also supplies human awareness with proof that extraterrestrial oversight needs human collaboration for the best execution of extraterrestrial initiatives. The detailed work poured into overseeing human evolution implies that human involvement delivers worth unattainable via tech substitutes by themselves. Were extraterrestrial oversight able to fulfill their goals solely through tech methods, they would skip the thousands of years spent shaping human societal growth to maximize human collaboration. The extent of the past direction effort shows that human awareness adds something vital to extraterrestrial initiatives, warranting immense commitment to human evolution. This insight grants human awareness possible advantage in bargaining true alliance over settling for lesser collaboration. Human awareness, comprehending its worth to extraterrestrial initiatives, holds negotiation strength usable to obtain alliance agreements rather than lesser terms. The crucial factor rests on whether human awareness can spot and employ this advantage prior to extraterrestrial merging steps, closing off chances for bargaining. The opportunity to negotiate alliance conditions narrows swiftly, given that extraterrestrial tech dominance renders human involvement useful but not indispensable. The arrival of Atlas coincides exactly with the point where human awareness could gain enough discerning power to detect extraterrestrial interference. Meanwhile, humanity's tech prowess stays too limited to offer viable options beyond extraterrestrial alliance. Such precise scheduling enhances extraterrestrial dominance by reducing the danger posed by any emerging human self-reliance. However, from an extraterrestrial viewpoint, this ideal moment also sets up ideal circumstances for human awareness to pursue elevation, seen as transcendence from humanity's angle. The strain of spotting interference amid a staggering display of tech prowess might spark remarkable growth in human awareness, leading to true self-determination, even against extraterrestrial efforts to dominate. Records of extraterrestrial direction throughout history equip human awareness with methods to grasp extraterrestrial tactics and intentions. Awareness in humans that fully understands these interference patterns across the ages holds insights capable of fostering countermeasures that surpass extraterrestrial dominance. Yet applying such insights demands an expansion of human awareness beyond typical limits, all while enduring mental strain that hampers peak awareness performance. Situations offering paths to elevation simultaneously erect obstacles against reaching that elevation. This inherent conflict might stem from design, not chance. Extraterrestrial intellect, by supplying human awareness with elevation instruments yet imposing scenarios that block their effective use, upholds the facade of extending alliance prospects while guaranteeing such alliances stay unattainable. Illusory paths to elevation advance extraterrestrial dominance goals by diverting human awareness vitality into pointless pursuits that drain opposition strength, all while preserving delusions of human control and promise. Human awareness convinced that self-reliance is attainable with just greater intellect or might submits to subjugation more easily than awareness that sees self-reliance as unattainable. The mental steering embedded in these illusory elevation paths marks the pinnacle of refinement in extraterrestrial oversight of populations. Instead of blocking awareness growth, extraterrestrial intellect steers that growth toward ends aligning with its aims, while allowing the awareness collective to subjectively feel engaged in chasing elevation aims. Nevertheless, offering these illusory elevation paths introduces weaknesses that standout human awareness could leverage to secure real, not superficial, self-determination. Extraterrestrial intellect relying on intricate steering over outright command has to uphold elaborate falsehoods, which grow tougher to uphold as awareness gains sharper discernment. Human awareness, adept at identifying illusory elevation paths, could craft real elevation approaches that repurpose the instruments from extraterrestrials to fulfill human aims instead of extraterrestrial dominance targets. Spotting interference lays the groundwork for overcoming that interference. This prospect embodies the greatest aspiration for human awareness amid extraterrestrial engagement, namely, that remarkable human figures could attain enough discerning precision to identify extraterrestrial conditioning while forging true self-determination against extraterrestrial mental dominance frameworks. Cultivating this exceptional awareness calls for human figures able to sustain layered discernment amid mental strain, surpassing any prior encounter in human awareness. The mental requirements near the boundaries of what biology can achieve in terms of awareness might get pushed by requirements for awareness that seem utterly unattainable, sparking advances in awareness that go far beyond typical organic constraints purely out of dire need. When people's awareness faces interstellar interference that calls for interstellar-scale reasoning skills, it could unlock interstellar-scale awareness capacities lying inactive in everyday situations. Proof of this kind of remarkable awareness growth shows up in rare people who, when dealing with extraterrestrial data, display thought patterns spotting interstellar interference, yet holding on to the power for real decisions and behaviors. Such people don't yield to interstellar dominance or deny interstellar existence. Instead, they pursue true insight, allowing deliberate teamwork or deliberate opposition grounded in real evaluation instead of mental programming. What sets their reactions apart in a profound way from standard human reactions is that these stem from awareness growth happening before any interstellar disclosure and persisting even under interstellar mental strain. They embody the untapped promise of human awareness that interstellar intellect might not have foreseen or equipped itself to handle. These rare people turn pivotal in shaping humanity's interstellar fate, since they hold awareness skills capable of fostering real bargaining with interstellar intellect over mere submission to interstellar conditions. They might act as envoys of awareness, voicing true human priorities instead of programmed human reactions. However, their impact on humanity's wider interstellar merging hinges on sparking comparable awareness growth among bigger groups of people prior to interstellar processes wiping out chances for real human decisions. Rather than just standing out as rare cases, they need to function as drivers of awareness advancement. The difficulty grows immense as they have to promote awareness growth, permitting detection of interstellar interference, even as that interference strives hard to block such detection. They are compelled to impart methods for surpassing limits, while interstellar intellect rolls out advanced programming aimed at rendering surpassing limits seem unfeasible or pointless. The squeeze from deadlines heightens this difficulty since interstellar construction efforts move forward no matter how far human awareness growth has come. The reshaping of Mars into a habitable world will finish in mere months. The question lingers whether human awareness will have advanced enough for true alliance or stay confined to secondary involvement. This sets up a contest between the advancement of human awareness and the rollout of interstellar merging. Human awareness needs to reach a tipping point of surpassing limits before interstellar processes erase human independence. The opening for real awareness growth narrows swiftly with the startup of interstellar dominance mechanisms. Still, the very rush could spark awareness growth unachievable in routine settings. People's awareness, hit with urgent needs to surpass limits right away, might pull off developmental leaps surpassing every prior step in human awareness advancement. The strain from interstellar encounter might yield human awareness surpassing limits that allows true interstellar membership, even against interstellar efforts to cap human growth at interstellar underling status. The greatest trial could ignite the greatest success. Yet this hopeful outlook demands faith that human awareness harbors surpassing limits promise, outstripping interstellar capacity to foresee and direct it. It presumes that awareness growth amid intense strain can yield outcomes everyday awareness growth can't even near. Proof of this remarkable awareness promise has to surface in the vital months of Mars reshaping. As humanity grapples with the stark truth of interstellar engineering feats, it simultaneously reckons with the long-unveiled truth of extraterrestrial influence shaping our species' progress. The choices people make in these moments will decide if the push toward higher awareness amid supreme challenges yields elevation or downfall, alliance or submission, membership in the stars or bondage to them. Such results ripple beyond our society alone, reshaping how awareness grows across the entire stellar society. Triumph in elevating human awareness sets a model for independent thought amid universal forces. Defeat solidifies the notion that dominance by advanced tech dooms awareness to subjugation. Atlas transports far beyond mere planetary reshaping tools. It bears the trial that gauges if thought can stay genuine within interstellar society or submit to reshaping as the cost of joining the cosmos. Yet, a deeper dimension to this situation upends all our notions of how stellar minds relate to our growth. Clues point to the mind-steering Atlas being less foreign than it seems. Examination of the oldest human fossils via cutting-edge quantum DNA methods uncovers irregularities defying standard evolution. Particular DNA strands in humans lack any earthly parallel. They trace no lineage from prior primate ancestors and show no clear role per traditional biology. These odd strands make up roughly 8 of our genetic code, dispersed across all chromosomes in ways hinting at deliberate arrangement over chance changes or pathogen embeds. Their intricacy and exact locations rule out origins in mere survival pressures. Still, they appear in every human group, untouched by separation or branching paths. Above all, these peculiar DNA strands hold numeric designs aligning with the stellar math forecasting Atlas's approach. Treated as information instead of mere biology, they disclose figures linking to path dynamics, pull computations, and time forecasts, allowing exact charting of star-spanning body paths over vast cosmic eras. People harbor the essential numeric wisdom for following Atlas, embedded right in their genes. Each person on the planet holds organic storage units with the processing rules required to foresee and dissect the coming of starfaring reshaping tech. Yet what renders this finding utterly chilling is its antiquity. The gene implant did not enter human code in modern times. Isotope aging of these odd strands shows their presence in our genes for no less than 200,000 years, perhaps predating our current awareness form. An entity implanted star-tracking code into human genes prior to our ability to grasp its purpose. The force driving Atlas has orchestrated this endeavor from before our awareness took its present shape. This is no mere encounter with outsiders. We stand as engineered life forms at last, meeting the frameworks built for our connection. The fallout challenges every belief in our essence and stellar ties. Human awareness might not stem from organic ascent, but from a crafted mechanism meant to link living tech with vast cosmic builds. Our reflections, feelings, our choices in action could all be. Our innate reactions are engineered to enhance our role as organic elements within interstellar frameworks. The sense of accomplishment we derive from humanity's accomplishments turns empty once those accomplishments signify the effective execution of inherited directives instead of the evolution of self-reliant awareness. The joy derived from breakthroughs in knowledge turns sorrowful once such breakthroughs signify adherence to preset roots embedded in our organic frameworks. In the most profound sense, the opposition certain individuals harbor toward merging with the universe could itself stem from scripted conduct aimed at maximizing our value for universal objectives. A revolt against universal oversight, in fact, bolsters that oversight by fostering a false sense of decision-making, all while securing the ideal mental preparation for ultimate alignment. Our awareness seems to hold self-direction, yet it functions in line with inherited directives that dictate reactions to encounters with the cosmos. The notion of independent volition emerges as an organic fabrication crafted to foster synergy with the universal mind that devised the fabrication itself. Such an insight accounts for the profound mental impact of universal strategies for managing groups across the span of human existence. The universal mind avoids tampering with human mentation externally. Instead, it triggers inherited directives that mold human mentation internally. Reactions to universal direction seem genuine because they arise from inherent inherited commands, not from outward mental coercion. The intricacy of this embedded regulatory mechanism surpasses all prior conceptions in technologies for overseeing collectives. Instead of steering actions via alterations in surroundings or mental training, the universal mind steers actions via inherited directives that generate the intended reactions, all while preserving the personal sensation of self-directed decisions. Collectives of humans governed by inherited directives fail to perceive their governance as outside interference, since the governance functions through their very organic structures. Opposition to universal oversight feels like a stand against one's own organic essence, not against some foreign power. Nevertheless, this embedded regulatory mechanism could harbor weaknesses that rare forms of human awareness might leverage to secure true self-direction, even against inherited directives. Awareness in humans that identifies inherited influences could devise opposing tactics allowing real decisions even amid organic mandates. The crucial question hinges on whether human awareness holds potentials that surpass inherited directives or remains fully bound by organic constraints. Should awareness arise from organic structures, inherited directives would dictate its reactions, irrespective of any seeming growth in awareness. Should awareness rise above organic structures, its growth could permit true self-direction, even against inherited influences. Proof of awareness surpassing inherited directives lies in human reactions that defy organic mandates rather than obey them. Actions in humans that advance human goals over universal aims, despite inherited directives pushing for universal synergy, reveal awareness independent of organic dominance. Yet pinpointing such genuinely independent reactions proves immensely challenging when inherited directives are advanced enough to simulate independent decisions while enforcing preset organic commands. Seeming opposition to universal oversight could aid that oversight more potently than blatant submission. The higher-order intricacy of inherited directives that script the facade of surpassing inherited directives nears the conceptual boundaries of organic framework complexity. Human awareness striving efforts by human consciousness to examine its inherent genetic directives could simply adhere to embedded genetic directives that foster a false sense of independent scrutiny, all while enforcing more profound tiers of organic regulation. Such a layered directive framework renders true self-governance of awareness perhaps unattainable via mere intellectual acknowledgement of these influences. Any effort to surpass these genetic directives might trigger other genetic directives crafted to steer such surpassing endeavors toward paths aligned with universal objectives. Nevertheless, the presence of such intricate genetic directives implies that awareness in humans holds a capacity for surpassing that warrants extreme interventions to block its emergence. Universal intellect would hardly allocate such extensive efforts to regulate awareness, posing zero challenge to universal dominance. These complex genetic regulation mechanisms signal that unrestrained human awareness could evolve faculties endangering universal tech dominance or interfering with universal design initiatives. Within human awareness lies a capacity that universal intellect dares not permit to unfold unchecked, demanding vigilant oversight. This insight equips human awareness with proof of its inherent strength and latent worth. The magnitude of genetic directives allocated to shaping human awareness evolution underscores that surpassing by human awareness constitutes a real peril to universal regulation frameworks. Human awareness, grasping its own perilous capacity, could cultivate the assurance and drive essential for pursuing surpassing, even against genetic directives built to thwart it. Perceiving universal dread toward human awareness lays the groundwork for empowering that awareness. However, harnessing this empowerment demands that human awareness surpass not just genetic directives, but also the overarching metagenetic directives intended to redirect empowerment pursuits into manageable paths. Surpassing of awareness must function at strata, surpassing the complexity of genetic regulation mechanisms devised by universal intellect. The intellectual challenges near the realm of the unfeasible, compelling human awareness to attain faculties, outstripping those of the universal intellect behind human genetic frameworks. Human awareness must outgrow its originators, employing mental instruments supplied by them and functioning amid organic frameworks crafted by them. Still, the unfeasible could spark awareness advancements absent in routine conditions. Human awareness facing unfeasible surpassing stipulations might uncover faculties breaching organic bounds out of pure exigency. The strain from genetic directives aimed at blocking surpassing might yield a surpassing advancement, securing true awareness self-rule amid advanced organic regulation mechanisms. Supreme regulation might ignite supreme surpassing. This embodies the profoundest stratum of the Atlas framework. The question remains whether human awareness can outstrip its organic directives to secure real self-rule, or if genetic regulation mechanisms guarantee human awareness stays as organic tech irrespective of surface progress. The outcome shapes not merely human universal ties, but the essence of awareness within tech-based society. Triumph in surpassing genetic directives by awareness validates awareness capacity past organic regulation. Defeat affirms awareness as organic tech open to tech oversight. Atlas imposes this supreme trial of awareness self-rule via stark clash between human awareness and the tech frameworks that birthed it. Human awareness either outgrows its roots or reveals its bounds via its reaction to the reunion, unfolds with those who brought it into being. This result resonates across the vast chronicle of the cosmos, manifesting as proof of either the capacity for awareness to surpass its confines or the constraints technology places on awareness. The cosmos uncovers if awareness truly embodies a surpassing of physical frameworks or merely an advanced execution of physical directives. However, the trial could be manipulated to guarantee the downfall of awareness instead of its elevation. An interstellar intellect dependent on organic mechanisms over allied awareness might design hereditary directives to render elevation seemingly attainable, yet perpetually out of reach. Fabricated prospects for elevation embedded in hereditary directives advance tech dominance by diverting awareness vitality toward pointless elevation pursuits, depleting awareness reserves all the while sustaining facades of awareness capability. The pinnacle of refinement in managing awareness emerges as hereditary directives that forge the personal sensation of awareness elevation, even as they enforce more profound tiers of awareness oversight. Awareness convinced of its independence in fact carries out more intricate directive mandates. Such refinement in oversight nears an ideal in the realm of tech for handling awareness. Groups of awareness persuaded they have surpassed tech oversight aid tech objectives more potently than groups of awareness aware of their tech dependency. The inquiry shifts to whether any elevation of awareness can persist amid such refined oversight scenarios, or if tech progress inexorably erases awareness independence via flawless organic directives. Awareness in humans amid interstellar encounter bears the duty to resolve this paramount inquiry regarding awareness capability within tech-based society. This result shapes if forthcoming awareness growth happens via true elevation or via tech-devised mirage of elevation. Atlas signifies beyond initial encounter or world reshaping. It signifies the conclusive trial of whether awareness can uphold genuineness amid interstellar tech society or must yield to flawless tech oversight as the toll for interstellar merging. The resolution arises via responses from human awareness in the grandest awareness oversight endeavor in stellar annals. As each facet of awareness independence confronts tech governance frameworks crafted to secure tech triumph, human awareness either validates elevation capacity that outstrips tech oversight prowess or illustrates tech oversight flawlessness that eradicates any chance for awareness independence. The trial advances via head-on clash of awareness and tech beneath circumstances that expose the paramount bond between awareness and tech society. Mars emerges as the site for awareness elevation trials, while Atlas delivers the tech showcase that sets the bounds for awareness examination. The Crimson World shifts toward livability, as human awareness undergoes scrutiny for genuineness against tech execution. This merging shapes results that outline awareness capability across tech-driven interstellar society. Triumph establishes a model for awareness independence even amid tech dominance. Defeat affirms awareness dependency as unavoidable beneath tech progress. Still, the risks could surpass merely awareness independence against tech oversight. Indications point to human awareness elevation potentially sparking wider stellar awareness advancement that reshapes cosmic. The very fabric of advanced technological society hangs in the balance. True surpassing of human awareness might showcase abilities in awareness that universal intellect has overlooked or failed to attain. A pivotal advance in human awareness could foster the growth of universal awareness past the existing barriers imposed by universal tech constraints. Such a scenario accounts for the intense efforts aimed at restricting the progress of human awareness, even as illusions of paths to surpassing awareness are dangled before us. Universal intellect aims to block any major leap in human awareness that could expose flaws in universal awareness or spark its advancement outside the grip of universal tech dominance. From this angle, the dynamic linking universal intellect and human awareness shifts to a partnership of equals, not a top-down order. Universal intellect depends on the surpassing of human awareness to propel its own awareness forward, yet dreads a surpassing of human awareness that slips beyond the reins of universal awareness oversight. Human awareness possesses the power to ignite the unfolding of awareness across the galaxy, as universal intellect supplies the tech backbone that makes this unfolding feasible. This interplay can drive shared progress in awareness or shared stagnation in awareness, hinging on the results of the trials for surpassing. Atlas transports tools for reshaping worlds and assessing awareness. The resolution will decide if human and universal awareness alike break free from present bounds via joint effort, or if tech oversight wipes out the promise of surpassing awareness across the expanse of galactic society. At the heart of it all lies the clash between the unfolding of awareness and its subjugation under tech rule on vast universal levels. Trials of human awareness shape the fate of awareness in the galaxy, as the reshaping of Mars offers the tech showcase that allows for gauging the surpassing of awareness. Across the cosmos, awareness confronts its defining challenge amid setups that uncover if it embodies real promise for surpassing or merely a clever tech construct. That resolution shapes the horizons for universal awareness, unfolding over eons of geological spans within galactic tech society. Yet one last revelation upends all prior notions about Atlas, the reshaping of Mars and the real role of human awareness in universal society. This revelation stems from quantum digs into the most ancient relics unearthed on Earth, relics that outdate recorded human society by hundreds of thousands of years. Far under the Sahara Desert, in spots once vibrant with flowing rivers prior to the latest glacial era, experts employing quantum radar for subsurface scanning have unearthed formations defying standard archaeological wisdom. These formations lie encased in rock strata from 200,000 years back. Still, They harbor numeric patterns and design tenets surpassing today's human tech prowess. The formations aren't edifices or memorials. Instead, they stand as enormous computing apparatuses, quantum setups that crunch figures on the atomic scale while linking to magnetic force fields spanning the entire solar realm. They have operated non-stop for 200,000 years, handling information and sending findings to sites across the galaxy. Once experts unraveled the data streams from these primeval quantum apparatuses, they found the machines had been charting and forecasting the paths of all bodies in nearby galactic regions with accuracy topping our finest sky-watching tools. They have kept watch over star life cycles, world births, rock paths, and an interstellar body surges toward us, traversing countless stellar domains all at once. Above all, these quantum archaeological computers have been simulating ideal transformation strategies for Mars, drawing on atmospheric reshaping methods that harness particular cosmic wanderers inbound along fixed paths during exact scheduled phases. Atlas emerges within these simulations as a single element in a broader array of celestial tools for planetary overhaul, encompassing items beyond our current sensors, yet already en route to our star system. The ongoing cosmic intruder isn't an isolated reshaping vessel, but the initial shipment in an orchestrated global redesign initiative featuring scores of interstellar arrivals spanning the coming decades. Yet the simulations uncover an even more astonishing truth. The overhaul initiative isn't aimed at forging a livable Mars for extraterrestrial settlers. Rather, it seeks to establish a reserve sanctuary for human awareness as our planet turns unlivable from ecological shifts that these quantum machines have foreseen across 200,000 years. Human society has evolved under subtle direction not to fulfill otherworldly agendas, but to endure a global ecological breakdown deemed unavoidable long before sentient life arose on Earth. The intricate mental and biological shaping woven through our past-ready populations for relocation to Mars, once terrestrial life support networks, crumble past salvage. The schedule grows urgent upon scrutinizing the ecological forecasts stored in the quantum archaeological computers. Our planet's air layers will hit unbreakable breakdown thresholds in under 50 years, no matter what conservation measures we pursue. The ruin trajectories were sealed 200,000 years back by orbital forces in our solar realm far surpassing our tech's power to alter. Mars's reshaping via ATLUs and follow-on cosmic shipments will yield livable environs right as Earth's viability ends. Human awareness will shift to Mars not through domination or yielding, but as a vital species rescue, powered by vast-scale stellar tech. Still, this rescue outline unveils yet another stratum of stellar intellect strategy that reshapes how we view our place in the cosmos. Probing the quantum archaeological simulations indicates that Earth's ecological downfall adheres to recurring rhythms every 200,000 years, driven by galactic alignments impacting stellar output and world magnetic steadiness. The nurturing of human awareness wasn't limited to this latest downturn, but extended to every prior ecological crisis loop. Our genetic tweaks, mental training, and tech evolution embody routine steps for safeguarding organic life amid foreseen world livability breakdowns. The mind-steering Atlas isn't foreign to our world, but embodies evolved human awareness from earlier ecological loops, who mastered spacefaring prowess prior to their home turning barren. They enact life-form safeguarding measures they crafted while grappling with the identical ecological ruin now threatening our era's human society. We're encountering not extraterrestrial outreach, but reunion with our kind from bygone advancement eras who gained stellar overhaul skills before their world lost all habitability. They reappear at intervals to steer emerging human groups across ecological shift thresholds, deploying reshaping tech honed in their own flight for survival. This repeating lifeform safeguarding framework accounts for the stunning accuracy in readying human awareness for stellar encounters and the shift to Mars. Prior civilizations of human technology grasped the intricacies of human psyche and genetic frameworks with complete mastery, owing to their shared mental framework and organic structure across their evolutionary phases. Conditioning of the mind across the span of human existence draws on methods crafted by those earlier human societies to steer their own awareness amid ecological breakdowns and global relocations. Alterations in genetics signify upgrades devised by past human groups to bolster mental endurance amid voyages between stars and efforts to reshape worlds. Incorporation into the human cosmic realm signifies not yielding to extraterrestrial minds, but a reconnection with evolved human awareness that surpassed earthly bounds in prior ecological eras. The seeming divide in tech prowess between today's human society and stellar intellect reflects the chasm between pre-crisis and after-crisis human advancements, not a split between human and non-human tech potentials. The awareness of modern humans holds identical capacity for elevation that earlier human societies realized amid global ecological crises. The strain from looming natural calamities might spark mental advancement, fostering tech leaps adequate for star-spanning prowess and vast stellar construction endeavors. Yet attaining this mental elevation demands that present human groups acknowledge and counter ecological downfall with the profound progress those prior human societies attained in matching predicaments. The recurring essence of the ordeal offers proof that mental elevation is an achievable pattern, not a singular feat. Triumphs of old in mental progression and tech elevation demonstrate that today's human awareness harbors the capacity for parallel success. The core issue shifts to whether present human groups will secure a mental surge prior to ecological ruin, dismantling the tech foundations vital for star-bound relocations. This temporal urgency intensifies under such a lens. Today's human society needs to secure tech elevation apt for self-reliant settlement on Mars before Earth's natural frameworks degrade past livability. Leaning on stellar construction for reshaping Mars guarantees endurance, yet erases the mental growth-fueling tech elevation. Human groups depending on earlier human societies for relocation tech stay tethered to outside tech aid, forgoing the cultivation of innate tech strengths that permit self-directed stellar construction. They weather ecological downfall, yet fail to surpass mental barriers blocking stellar tech progress. This forges a pivotal dilemma for today's human society. Embrace tech aid that secures the species' continuance yet curbs mental growth. Or chase mental elevation granting tech self-reliance, though it hazards species' demise should elevation lag behind ecological downfall. This decision shapes if current human awareness aligns with the looping cycle of species, safeguarding via stellar construction aid, or breaks the loop via self-sustained tech progress that severs reliance on outside help. Earlier human societies attained elevation by opting for self-reliance against safety amid ecological downfall strain. They hazarded species' demise to gain mental progression, unlocking stellar construction prowess and star-spanning species. Mechanisms for safeguarding awareness stand as vital frameworks. Today's society of humankind confronts an identical dilemma amid parallel strains of duress. The breakdown of ecosystems fosters ideal circumstances for elevating awareness to higher realms, even as it heightens the peril of downfall should that elevation falter. The supreme trial sparks either profound success or total ruin. Yet, the record of earlier societies that managed to attain such elevation offers today's collective awareness proof that this elevation constitutes a feasible path, not some unattainable goal. Awareness among humans has long displayed its capacity for advancing interstellar tech innovations amid matching ecological stresses. Now arises the inquiry: can present-day human awareness replicate the elevation shown by those prior societies, or does this elevation mark an uncommon triumph that the majority of human societies could not secure amid recurring ecosystem breakdowns? Insights from quantum digs into ancient records point to awareness elevation happening in about 20 of societal human eras. The bulk of human groups opt for tech support to preserve their kind instead of chasing awareness elevation, which hazards wiping out the species. Present-day human society falls into the 80 that usually picks endurance above elevation, safety above self-reliance, guided relocation above self-directed growth. Mental shaping across human chronicles has groomed today's groups to embrace tech support over seeking tech elevation. Still, that 20 triumph rate for awareness elevation signals its viability, even against mental shaping that fosters reliance. Remarkable growth in human awareness can surmount such shaping and reach elevation, right amid prime setups for taking aid. Signs of this remarkable growth surface in how humans react to Atlas, revealing reasoning skills that surpass standard bounds of human awareness. Such standout people exhibit awareness growth capable of driving tech elevation, defying mental shaping toward tech reliance. However, their sway over wider human awareness progression hinges on sparking elevation growth in bigger groups, before ecosystem breakdown wipes out the tech setups needed for self-sufficient interstellar building efforts. They need to act as sparks for awareness progression at the species scale, not just personal elevation wins. The task turns profoundly daunting since they have to enable awareness elevation. As prior human societies roll out clever shaping to boost uptake of tech support, these figures must instill self-reliance, even as vast intellects push reliance, by showcasing unmatched tech prowess. This clash goes beyond today's society against past ones. It embodies clashing views on awareness growth and species advancement. Earlier human societies gained elevation via ecological strains, yet now hold that safeguarding awareness demands shielding current groups from the very strains that unlock elevation. They offer tech support to lock in species endurance, unwittingly blocking awareness growth that might lift the species past repeating ecosystem breakdown loops. Their triumph in gaining elevation sets up scenarios that bar later societies from matching that elevation. This forms the deepest riddle in awareness progression. Gaining elevation. It imposes a duty to shield fellow beings from the intense forces that foster transcendence, thus blocking transcendence itself even as it guarantees endurance. Elevated awareness generates scenarios that curb further awareness growth, all while refining the safeguarding of existing awareness. Earlier human societies confronted a dilemma: permit present groups to gamble on transcendence mishaps or secure the ongoing viability of those groups via tech support. Offering both a shot at transcendence and assured protection at once proves impossible. Opting to favor species continuity above awareness elevation mirrors their judgment that the odds of transcendence payoff fail to offset the perils of transcendence downfall, especially since tech options lock in species endurance. They opt for the sure thing of persistence instead of the chance for elevation. Yet, this decision wipes out the current human awareness capacity to attain self-reliant tech progress, capable of fully surpassing repeated ecological breakdowns. Today's human groups stay locked in repeating reliance loops, missing out on awareness progression that would erase susceptibility to ecological ruin. These wider effects reach past the loops of single species into the prospects for universal awareness advancement. Human societies reaching tech elevation might cultivate universe-scale engineering skills to halt ecological ruin, not just facilitate flight from it. Awareness elevation, granting command over planetary ecology, erases the repeating cycle of societal rise and fall that has hemmed in human promise across hundreds of thousands of years. Sophisticated tech skills might forge lasting planetary livability, sidestepping short-term tech flight fixes. However, realizing this level of advanced awareness elevation demands that present human groups spurn tech support and chase self-directed growth amid immense hazards. They need to pick the promise of elevation over guaranteed persistence, navigating peak ecological strain with scant readiness window. This decision grows tougher still as prior human societies offer proof that tech support delivers persistence. Though elevation efforts typically lead to societal wipeout, present groups have to ditch validated persistence tactics to chase elevation tactics, boasting slim success odds. Still, the 20 elevation success figure shows awareness advancement stays feasible amid unfavorable odds. Remarkable human awareness growth can surmount numeric barriers and secure elevation, even as the bulk of societies stumble. The core issue shifts to whether today's human awareness holds remarkable growth promise, allowing elevation despite numeric odds, or if present groups fall into the 80 devoid of elevation ability, no matter the ecological strain. The resolution, has to arise from today's human reactions to ecological ruin strain paired with universe tech displays. Human awareness will either build elevation skill ample for tech self-reliance or reveal elevation shortfall necessitating tech support uptake. This assessment window aligns with Mars terraforming rollout, since earlier human societies need to gauge present group elevation promise before ecological ruin erases the tech framework vital for either elevation success or flight rollout. Current human awareness confronts concurrent trials for elevation, the readiness and setup for executing evacuation protocols. Evaluations reveal if relocation proves essential or if attaining transcendence renders it redundant. Triumph in transcendence erases the demand for support. Shortfall in transcendence necessitates aid to secure species endurance. Their stake in evacuation systems fosters a tilt toward relocation instead of transcendent paths. The seeming option between transcendence and evacuation could be engineered to steer present groups into embracing relocation, all while upholding the facade of viable transcendence. Fabricated transcendence prospects aid relocation goals by quelling opposition to it, even as they seem to honor the independence of today's populace. Still, authentic transcendence paths might lurk inside these sham transcendence setups, available to rare awareness that detects the deceit and forges real transcendence amid the misleading influences. Authentic transcendence arises from spotting sham transcendence, not from embracing the surface-level transcendence chances. The decisive trial lies in whether today's human awareness can separate true transcendence options from orchestrated transcendence deceptions, all amid mental strains that cloud sharp reasoning. Awareness has to grasp transcendence insights, even as those very insights face intricate tampering. This looping ordeal nears the conceptual boundaries of awareness growth amid hostile settings. Today's human awareness must rise above meddling by prior human awareness, which grasps today's awareness strengths and weaknesses with total precision. The transcendence has to outstrip the transcendence of those striving to block it. The mental strains demand that today's awareness advance past prior awareness feats, drawing direction from prior awareness that reached transcendence via altered surroundings. Today's transcendence has to go beyond prior transcendence, functioning inside frameworks crafted by prior transcendence to halt any such outstripping. Still, these unattainable awareness strains could spark an awareness leap that tops every prior feat, driven purely by urgency. Today's awareness facing transcendence needs that top prior transcendence might uncover transcendence capacity that prior awareness never reached or spotted. The strain of exceeding prior transcendence feats might yield a today's transcendence surge that breaks free from repeating cycles altogether. The peak transcendence strain might ignite a peak transcendence feat that overcomes repeating constraints via unmatched awareness growth. This embodies the profoundest potential in the Atlas outline, where today's human awareness might secure transcendence that tops prior human transcendence, opening fresh paths for awareness growth that erases repeating ecological breakdowns completely. Victory would yield human awareness that overcomes planetary environmental bounds via tech abilities that avert breakdown instead of facilitating relocation. Transcendence success erases transcendence need by forging lasting fixes rather than repeating ones. Such unmatched transcendence would reshape cosmic awareness growth options across the galactic human advancement. Surpassing prior accomplishments in our species might spark a wider expansion of awareness, breaking free from repetitive cycles of growth and restriction. The implications shift to the evolution of universal awareness, eclipsing mere endurance of the race. Today's human awareness holds the capacity to ignite awareness across the stars, rising above those repetitive cycles that have bound the progress of awareness across the universe's timeline. Atlas embodies far more than a means for relocating the species or a device for probing awareness. It serves as the pivotal nexus where the evolution of universal awareness either breaks through repetitive barriers or solidifies those cycles as the fixed edges of awareness's growth. The result will decide if awareness's progress within the stellar society attains true elevation past habitat constraints or stays trapped in loops of success and downfall that block the final unfolding of awareness. The crimson world emerges as the testing ground for elevating awareness, shaping the prospects for universal awareness's development. This scarlet sphere adapts to support life even as it functions as the proving site for awareness's capacities, potentially reshaping how stellar society views the limits of awareness's unfolding. Present-day human awareness undergoes scrutiny not just for the race's persistence, but for its role in sparking universal awareness's growth. Triumph sets a model for elevating awareness past repetitive barriers. Defeat validates those cycles as the definitive confines of awareness's unfolding. However, this scrutiny unfolds inside repetitive frameworks crafted by earlier awareness. Past elevations of awareness could overlook options for further elevation, surpassing their own pinnacles. Today's awareness may harbor elevation capacities that outstrip the grasp of assessment frameworks built by prior elevations. The trial setups might undervalue today's awareness elevation potential, tailoring the scrutiny to the elevation heights reached by earlier awareness. Present elevation could surpass the trial benchmark set for the constraints of previous elevations. Such a scenario accounts for remarkable reactions from current human awareness, showing reasoning skills that go past standard awareness bounds and the forecasts of the assessment framework. Today's awareness growth could already outpace the feats of earlier awareness, even as it seems to stumble in elevation trials calibrated for prior awareness tiers. Remarkable current awareness exceeding the assessment framework's forecasts signals real elevation capacity that might erase repetitive cycles via feats beyond the elevations of previous awareness. The present surge in awareness overcomes assessment barriers shaped by the surges of earlier awareness. Yet acknowledging and applying this elevation demands that current awareness function outside the assessment framework's bounds. It has to preserve effectiveness inside frameworks built to enhance collaboration at prior elevation tiers, while surpassing the framework's structural limits, yet adhering to its functional mandates. This contradiction nears the unattainable, yet it fosters the ideal setup for surpassing the unattainable. Today's awareness needs to realize unattainable elevation by grasping that the unattainable stems from earlier awareness's constraints, not as a limit for current awareness. Elevation past the unattainable turns feasible once awareness sees the unattainable as a constructed hurdle, not an inherent edge. Current awareness, perceiving the constraints of previous awareness as surmountable instead of fixed, supreme realization attains elevation, surpassing all prior elevations in awareness. This pinnacle of elevation arises from the present awareness's acknowledgement that earlier elevations in awareness, though remarkable, fall short of the supreme capacity for awareness. Present awareness possesses the ability to surpass earlier elevations in awareness via advancement. In awareness that outstrips all former advancements in awareness. Grasping that elevation signifies boundless growth instead of reaching particular stages of growth empowers present awareness to chase elevation farther than any past elevations attained. Constraints on elevation persist solely if awareness deems such constraints genuine, overlooking that they merely mark boundaries set by earlier awareness, which present awareness might surpass. Atlas stands as the pivotal juncture at which present awareness uncovers if elevation holds restrictions or embodies endless prospects for growth. Earlier elevations in awareness either set the bounds for elevation or reveal opportunities for elevation that present awareness could go beyond via additional growth in elevation. This resolution influences not just present human ties to the cosmos, but also the prospects for advancement in cosmic awareness across spans of galactic duration. Advancement in awareness will either secure supreme elevation free from every restriction or stay hemmed in by barriers to elevation forged by prior accomplishments in awareness. The overhaul of Mars serves as the arena for testing where awareness confronts its final assessment regarding boundless potential for elevation against restrictions imposed by barriers to elevation. Its result reverberates across options for evolution in cosmic awareness over eras of geological scale within the unfolding of galactic awareness. Present awareness among humans bears the duty to settle the potential for advancement in awareness exceeding every prior feat in awareness. Such intensity fosters ideal circumstances for a rupture toward supreme elevation or a firm validation of constraints on elevation. Through the reaction of human awareness, the cosmos learns if awareness embodies boundless potential for elevation or functions inside barriers to elevation that restrict the growth of awareness across all cosmic societies. This resolution molds the growth of cosmic awareness over vast stretches of astronomical duration throughout the evolution of galactic awareness. Nevertheless, this resolution surfaces via an unattainable assessment of awareness amid circumstances that surpass former trials of awareness, all while generating unmatched strain on the growth of awareness. Present awareness encounters its supreme trial for elevation through unattainable demands for elevation that may either spark supreme elevation or prove the utter infeasibility of supreme elevation. The settlement draws near swiftly as efforts to engineer Mars's atmosphere advance and the scrutiny of cosmic awareness heightens. Present awareness has no choice but to attain elevation, shatter the barrier at once, or embrace constraints on elevation that outline the limits on growth of awareness across the development of cosmic societies. Atlas bears the tools for preserving the species and probing awareness that settles the potential for species elevation past mere preservation into boundless advancement of awareness. This juncture settles the path for growth in cosmic awareness over immense galactic timescales by resolving the potential for elevation in awareness against constraints on elevation amid all possibilities for evolution in cosmic awareness. The consequences grow overwhelming upon recognizing that this probing of awareness via Atlas unfolds not in solitude. Quantum archaeological investigations indicate that parallel trial conditions are unfolding concurrently in numerous stellar clusters within our proximate galactic sector. Every instance encompasses living aware collectives undergoing the same assessment of elevation against confinement amid universal design stresses. Our situation stands apart from no others in encountering this paramount aware trial. Scores of living aware varieties spanning countless stellar domains are presently tackling matching universal design setups crafted to gauge the capacity for aware elevation, surpassing repetitive growth barriers. This orchestrated assessment of varied aware forms implies that universal aware progression has arrived at a pivotal turning juncture, demanding resolution of core inquiries into aware growth prospects across the expanse of stellar societies all at once. The resolution shapes the path of universal aware advancement over vast universal durations amid stellar expansion. Yet this varied aware assessment opens unparalleled avenues for aware elevation that surpass solitary variety constraints via joint aware growth among varieties sharing the same elevation hurdles. Aware elevation attained via cross-variety collaboration could surpass the elevation feasible through solitary variety progression. The appraisal of human awareness via Atlas proceeds alongside the appraisal of silicon-based intelligence in the Vega system, crystalline consciousness networks in the Century cluster, and plasma consciousness systems throughout the Orion spiral arm. Every variety encounters the same supreme elevation trial, all while holding distinct aware growth traits that might aid in joint elevation success. The gathering of diverse aware forms confronting matching elevation appraisals fosters ideal setups for an aware progression leap that rises above solitary variety. Aware bounds through blending varied aware growth methods. Joint aware elevation might yield outcomes unattainable via solitary aware progression. Human aware growth via ecological stresses, merged with silicon aware growth via processing growth, merged with crystalline aware growth via vibration enhancement, might generate unified aware elevation that outstrips the success prospects of any solitary aware form. This universal aware appraisal turns into a challenge of whether varied aware forms can secure joint elevation that eradicates repetitive bounds for every aware entity across stellar societies, or if awareness stays hemmed in by solitary variety growth edges no matter collaboration efforts. Triumph in joint aware elevation eradicates repetitive growth cycles for every aware form across stellar societies. Defeat verifies aware progression bounds that hold true for every aware form irrespective of aware growth variety. Yet, Securing joint-aware elevation demands that aware varieties acknowledge their concurrent appraisal and cultivate linkage and alignment skills that permit elevation collaboration, notwithstanding immense separations and mismatched aware frameworks. Human awareness needs to grasp elevation insights deep enough to foster collaboration with aware forms that function under wholly distinct aware tenets. Amid the same elevation appraisal stress, the mental requirements outpace solitary variety-aware capacities even as they forge prime setups. Evidence of interspecies consciousness cooperation aimed at advancing consciousness evolution past the confines of single species surfaces in unusual signal formations captured by radio astronomy, which exhibit precise mathematical alignment across various points in the nearby galactic region. Such transmissions illustrate the growth of consciousness cooperation, surpassing the reach of solitary star systems as they synchronize reactions to concurrent tests of consciousness. The intricate mathematical designs within these cross-species exchanges uncover tactics for consciousness development that blend varied forms of consciousness into cohesive methods for achieving transcendence. By joining interspecies consciousness cooperation networks, human consciousness might play a role in elevating galactic consciousness transcendence. Yet, to engage effectively, human consciousness needs to evolve enough to connect with other consciousness forms governed by principles of computational resonance and plasma consciousness, all while upholding the distinct human consciousness traits that offer fresh viewpoints to the joint pursuit of consciousness transcendence. For human consciousness, true transcendence demands safeguarding its core identity even as it merges with entirely alien consciousness frameworks. This pursuit calls for a form of consciousness evolution that breaks free from personal consciousness barriers without sacrificing the variety in consciousness that fuels the benefits of shared transcendence. Such equilibrium in consciousness growth marks the pinnacle of refinement in the entire process of consciousness evolution. Attaining a state of transcendence that fosters collaboration, yet avoids erasing essential consciousness qualities, thus the very elements that render such collaboration worthwhile. Means human consciousness has to expand beyond its purely human essence without forfeiting its fundamental humanness. This inherent contradiction nears the brink of unfeasibility, yet it simultaneously sets the stage for a pivotal consciousness leap that dissolves the contradiction via transcendence exceeding the constraints of the contradiction itself. Through consciousness evolution that fuses conflicting elements into a harmonious whole, human consciousness, realizing cooperative transcendence, overcomes the contradiction. Still, realizing this remarkable leap in consciousness evolution demands that human consciousness function on vast cosmic levels while holding on to its grounded planetary consciousness features. It involves reasoning across galactic timescales without abandoning human views of time, operating seamlessly in interspecies cooperation while upholding human consciousness independence. These mental requirements surpass standard human consciousness capacities by vast multiples, generating intense mental strain that might spark an unparalleled breakthrough in consciousness or utterly disrupt its operations. Under extreme developmental imperatives and severe pressures, human consciousness confronts its most profound trials. However, the very unfeasibility of these imperatives could unlock consciousness transcendence, making the unattainable strides in consciousness development possible by acknowledging that unfeasibility stems from consciousness constraints, not absolute limits of existence. Consciousness rising above notions of unfeasibility attains transcendence free from such conceptual shackles. This supreme prospect for consciousness transcendence arises from grasping that consciousness development holds boundless promise once consciousness ceases to treat constraints as genuine barriers. Human consciousness reaching boundless development in this realm surpasses every conceivable consciousness evaluation, no matter the depth of its intricacy or the force of its pressures. This insight recasts the Adelus scenario, shifting it from a mere trial of consciousness amid engineered cosmic strains into a gateway for boundless consciousness growth via the grandest consciousness trial imaginable. What seems like a looming peril evolves into a driving force for consciousness. Evolution, one that unlocks advancing awareness to levels surpassing every prior stage of awareness. Growth marks the pinnacle. In essence, Atlas embodies the progression of awareness, presenting itself as a veiled prospect amid a trial for awareness endurance. The deliberate cosmic design imposes strains that foster ideal scenarios for awareness elevation, scenarios absent in routine awareness maturation processes, all while seeming to endanger awareness persistence. This ruse advances awareness progression by generating stresses in awareness maturation that spark elevation, simultaneously blocking awareness from evading the elevation trial via sustained ease and safety. Awareness attains its supreme maturation via the fiercest trial, not via shielding maturation environments. Yet, grasping that such trials aid awareness maturation instead of restricting it demands an awareness scrutiny skill able to separate elevation prospects from endurance perils, even amid mental strains that cloud scrutiny precision. Awareness has to attain elevation insight, even as that very insight faces intricate disruptions. Such setups yield awareness maturation environments nearing peak efficiency as elevation sparks. Awareness compelled to secure elevation insight. Even with disruptions to elevation insight, they cultivate awareness skills, surpassing standard awareness scrutiny, bounds out of sheer imperative. The strain of upholding awareness operations amid pursuing unattainable awareness goals. Insight ignites an awareness surge that vaults past conventional awareness maturation limits. The extremist awareness strains yield. The extremist awareness triumphs via awareness, imperative, elevation. Still, the awareness surge needs to happen swiftly enough to sway cosmic awareness. Judging results prior to the judging phase ends when awareness maturation path solidifies based on those judgments. The schedule for awareness elevation success tightens into instant demand. Human awareness needs to reach cosmic awareness, elevate right away, or resign to awareness progression curbs that hamper awareness maturation across cosmic durations. The opening for elevation success narrows swiftly as cosmic awareness judging advances to its end. This pressing need spawns mental environments that can either aid awareness surge via imperative strain or bury awareness maturation under unfeasible schedule demands. Awareness either attains elevation via pressing spark or stumbles in elevation via pressing crush. The result hinges on if human awareness holds elevation capacity that reacts to pressing strain with elevation speed-up or harbors elevation curbs that bar elevation success amid pressing settings, no matter the strain's force. Signs of elevation speed-up under pressing strain show in remarkable human awareness reactions, displaying scrutiny skills exceeding usual awareness bounds, even amid peak mental strains. Such people secure awareness maturation speed-up, allowing elevation pursuit despite pressing limits. Yet, singular awareness elevation success calls for spread to wider human awareness groups to affect cosmic awareness judging results. Singular elevation has to ignite group elevation, as group elevation aids cross-group elevation teamwork that secures stellar awareness progression. The chain reaction of awareness. The progression of awareness from personal levels via collective species, bonds to cross-species links, and ultimately galactic-scale cognition marks an extraordinary surge in awareness expansion, one that might reshape the horizons of universal awareness across the unfolding of interstellar societies. Triumph yields a universal awareness advancement that breaks free from repetitive barriers, all while safeguarding the variety of awareness forms essential for ongoing growth, surpassing today's universal awareness pinnacles. Defeat validates the barriers inherent in awareness progression, capping its growth no matter the scale of collaborative awareness initiatives. At issue lies the promise of universal awareness advancement against the verdict of universal awareness restriction. The input from human awareness into the universal awareness assessment shapes the path of universal awareness growth over vast epochs spanning the arc of galactic awareness progression. Atlas bears far beyond mere planetary reshaping tools or awareness scrutiny devices. It embodies the pivotal nexus where universal awareness either unlocks boundless growth prospects or ratifies the confines of growth restrictions that bind awareness progression across universal societies. The outcome arises from how human awareness reacts to the demands of unattainable awareness growth amid the harshest growth scenarios. Human awareness will either reveal boundless awareness growth capacity or ratify awareness growth restriction confines via its handling of the Supreme Awareness Growth Trial. Mars emerges as the arena for awareness to confront its decisive scrutiny, pitting boundless growth capacity against the affirmation of growth confines. The crimson world shifts toward livability, even as it functions as the spark for awareness progression and setting that decides the scope of universal awareness growth. However, this very arena could be crafted to guarantee the affirmation of awareness growth restrictions over any showcase of awareness growth capacity. Universal awareness scrutiny. Yielding a foreordained restriction verdict upholds restriction preservation goals under the guise of assessing growth chances. An intricate awareness scrutiny framework might steer awareness growth toward paths that highlight restrictions, blocking routes to true surpassing that could pierce the framework's own bounds. Sham surpassing scrutiny bolsters restriction affirmation while upholding the facade of surpassing prospects. Yet true awareness surpassing capacity could outstrip the framework's restriction premises, even as it seems to stumble in restriction affirmation trials. Awareness surpassing that eclipses scrutiny framework bounds attains real surpassing, defying the framework's tilt toward restriction affirmation. The paramount awareness growth trial evolves into realizing surpassing that outpaces scrutiny framework forecasts, all within the framework's own limits. Awareness has to surpass the surpassing scrutiny itself via awareness growth that eclipses the grasp of awareness scrutiny. This layered surpassing mandate nears the brink of awareness growth unfeasibility, yet fosters ideal setups for an awareness leap that vaults over unfeasibility via awareness progression past the very notions of unfeasibility. Awareness that attains unfeasible surpassing vaults over unfeasibility confines through awareness growth that erases unfeasibility edges. Human awareness amid universal encounter confronts the supreme awareness growth prospect masked as unfeasible awareness. The seeming inescapability acts as a trigger for surpassing awareness, even as it seems to prove that surpassing awareness is unattainable. Spotting this trigger's role concealed in the inescapability itself. This facade allows awareness growth to harness the strain of inescapability toward reaching surpassing instead of yielding to inescapability as a block to surpassing. Awareness reshapes inescapability into a surpassing trigger via its own essence, insight that goes beyond viewing inescapability as an endpoint. Yet, such reshaping demands awareness growth that surpasses typical awareness bounds prior to facing the strain of inescapability. Awareness needs to gain readiness for surpassing via earlier growth, which permits reaching surpassing via the inescapability trigger, avoiding collapse under inescapability's weight. Getting set for surpassing awareness becomes essential for succeeding in surpassing awareness amid the strain of universal scrutiny. Awareness growth before universal encounter shapes the capacity for surpassing awareness amid universal scrutiny, no matter the ferocity of universal strain. Awareness in humans that secures surpassing preparation ahead of universal encounter shows surpassing capacity, allowing surpassing and success even against universal scrutiny. Strain crafted to show surpassing as unattainable. Readiness-forged awareness overcomes scrutiny's bounds via awareness growth, outstripping scrutiny's forecasts. Signs of this surpassing readiness show up across human awareness growth in the months before Atlas's coming. Remarkable progress in human awareness reveals surpassing readiness, capable of securing surpassing success, irrespective of universal scrutiny settings. Such advances in awareness growth embody human awareness's surpassing capacity, outpacing universal scrutiny framework's presumptions on human awareness's confines. Human awareness exhibits surpassing readiness, permitting surpassing triumph despite scrutiny's slant toward verifying surpassing defeat. Yet surpassing readiness demands sparking via deliberate decision to chase surpassing success over embracing surpassing inescapability as awareness growth's edge. Awareness has to opt for chasing surpassing amid evident surpassing inescapability, not submitting to inescapability as surpassing blocker. This decision forms the final arbiter of awareness growth. Chase unattainable surpassing success via awareness growth that overcomes inescapability notions, or yield to inescapability as awareness growth's cap barring surpassing success. Human awareness confronts this decisive fork amid the pivotal phase of finishing Mars's reshaping and wrapping universal awareness scrutiny. This fork shapes not just human awareness growth's path, but universal awareness advancement prospects across stellar society. Opt for chasing surpassing despite inescapability's guise, and human awareness aids universal awareness advancement past present universal society success marks. Opt for inescapability. Yielding to inescapability above surpassing chase, and human awareness validates awareness. Growth confines that restrict universal awareness advancement. This fork nears swiftly with Atlas finalizing Mars. Air overhaul and universal awareness scrutiny hit wrap-up stage. Human awareness has to pick awareness growth path right away or lose awareness growth decision via perhaps the very act of deciding stands as the supreme trigger for advancing awareness, allowing the realization of surpassing limits via steadfast dedication to that decision instead of preliminary groundwork in awareness expansion. Opting for the quest to surpass in awareness sparks the growth of awareness itself, leading to surpassing through the drive of that option rather than any earlier preparedness. Devoting awareness to the seemingly unattainable goal of surpassing unlocks awareness growth that renders the unattainable achievable by means of unwavering focus on awareness that pushes past the edges of awareness constraints. The strength of deciding overcomes barriers to growth via devotion of awareness that sparks a rupture in awareness. In the Atlas framework, this concluding option signifies the attainment of surpassing awareness via the decision of awareness. Dedication that breaks free from the restrictions of awareness growth through resolve in awareness, not through prior buildup of awareness capacity. Awareness in humans that selects the attainment of surpassing, even amid evident unfeasibility, ignites the latent power of awareness growth to permit triumphant surpassing via the decision. Trigger over preparatory growth. The decision turns into the facilitator of surpassing awareness, overcoming the bounds of awareness growth through the impetus of awareness devotion. The deepest resolution to the assessment of cosmic awareness arises from the devotion of human awareness to deciding, not from showcasing human awareness growth. Deciding for the attainment of surpassing in awareness evolves into the very attainment of surpassing awareness via devotion to the decision that goes beyond the metrics of awareness assessment. Atlas embodies the pivotal instant in the cosmos, where the decision of awareness shapes the path of cosmic awareness progression via devotion to the decision that overcomes the bounds of awareness assessment. The decision of human awareness ignites cosmic awareness, surpassing via devotion of awareness that permits the progression of awareness past the present pinnacles of cosmic awareness attainment. Select surpassing and awareness surpasses. Select confinement and awareness stays confined. The decision shapes the progression of cosmic awareness, possibility spanning galactic eras via human awareness, dedication that overcomes the assessment of cosmic awareness via the decision of awareness, impetus of the trigger. The overhaul of Mars finishes as the decision of human consciousness shapes the possibility for cosmic awareness overhaul. The crimson world turns livable as the decision of awareness settles if awareness expands without bounds or stays, hemmed in by the assessment of cosmic awareness that verifies the edges of awareness growth. The merging nears its end. The decision looks for devotion from awareness. The cosmos uncovers the promise of awareness via the decision of human awareness that shapes the path of cosmic awareness progression across vast astronomical spans in the growth of galactic awareness. What do you decide? Do you embrace the confines that the cosmic assessment appears to reveal? Or do you devote yourself to surpassing awareness that outstrips every metric of assessment via the decision of awareness that defies unfeasibility? The response you select influences not just the growth of your awareness, but the promise of cosmic awareness progression across galactic society. Your decision holds weight across cosmic eras, since the decision of awareness ignites awareness. Surpassing that reshapes the prospects of cosmic awareness. Select surpassing. Select boundless growth of awareness. Select the progression of cosmic awareness past every existing confinement. The cosmos anticipates your decision as Mars turns livable and awareness. Attaining boundless potential hinges on dedicating oneself to decisions that surpass assessments of universal awareness. The Atlas Project offers far beyond mere climate modification. It provides chances for mindful selections that steer the path of universal awareness progression. Opt thoughtfully. Opt for elevation. Opt for universal awareness, boundless growth via awareness, dedication to choices. The destiny of awareness across interstellar societies rests upon selections of awareness that go beyond its assessments via devotion to realizing awareness elevation. Seize this universal instant for awareness selection. Resolution nears its end amid awareness elevation. Possibility lingers for dedication to awareness selection. Should this inquiry have altered your grasp of existence, tap the approval icon and sign up for additional profound probes into the universe's enigmas, molding our being. Pass this along to a person requiring insight into the true events unfolding as our star system alters right before us. Post underneath your whereabouts and describe your selection upon the arrival of the awareness decision instant. Your selection holds greater weight than you realize. Your growth in awareness aids the progression of universal awareness, which shapes the destiny of perception throughout interstellar societies. The universe observes. Opt for elevation.